districts. There are about 2,300 districts around the United States who have signed the Future Ready Pledge, and it's a commitment to innovation, trying to improve schools. There's more to it than that, but that's kind of the gist of it. And I'm doing a project called Future Ready Librarians, and it's basically connecting librarians to this future ready work, trying to help schools become more focused on what needs to happen next in education.
Okay, and that's sort of your background. You're a teacher librarian, so you were at Skyview and other schools for a while before joining as an administrator with the district. So could you kind of talk about blending what you used to do, teacher librarians, with now what you're doing with the district?
Yeah. So like I say, I've been an administrator at the district level for 4 years. Before that, I was a teacher librarian for 20 years, most recently at Skyview High School. And the work of our district is all around digital transformation and improving student outcomes and learning, the use of digital devices in the classroom. And librarians can play a really important role connected to that. Our district has also been recognized nationally for some of the cool things that our teacher librarians are doing to support our strategic work in Vancouver. And so this Future Ready Librarians work really has informed what I'm doing at the national level. And it's a great opportunity to share some of the successes that we have in Vancouver with those around the United States.
So for those at home who aren't necessarily in the educational field, I think sort of the mental picture you have of a librarian is someone who, organizes books, shushes the kids, but that's not what a modern teacher librarian is. Could you kind of talk about what teacher librarians in Vancouver Public Schools are doing every day?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually that was kind of the topic of my TED Talk. I did a TED Talk recently and talked about the fact that we're really good at associating librarians with our past, but not everybody sees librarians as part of the future. And in Vancouver, librarians are doing some really great things. Like I mentioned before, they're connected with our one-to-one implementations of iPads and laptops. And so they're helping students and teachers use those tools in the classroom. They're very active with promoting digital content and services. So our learning management system, our use of ebooks and other digital content is very important and part of their work. More recently, they're really excited about makerspaces and how student making can be part of school instruction. And so several of the librarians are experimenting with makerspaces in their libraries. We even have some librarians that are having coding, like computer coding in elementary libraries, which is way cool and something that is pretty progressive.
So breaking this down for folks not familiar, makerspace is a place where kids build things?
Yeah, that's a great question. So making is really just encouraging students to literally construct their own knowledge through making things, through solving problems. And a makerspace is basically, for those of us old folks like me that grew up in a different era, it's kind of like shop or home ec, where you actually made things and created things, and that was part of your learning process. And so makerspaces are really just spaces that enable students to be able to do those sorts of things.
So I know once January hits, you'll move from your position now from the head of our sort of IT department or part of that into more of a directed role with librarians. Are you looking forward to kind of getting back to your roots?
Yeah, I mean, my job, the second half of the year, will be Director of Innovation and Library Services. So I'm really excited to be doing a lot of this work with making and with our digital pilots, where we're promoting those tools in the classroom, but then also definitely continuing to work with librarians. And they're already doing some great stuff. I just need to kind of support them and get out of their way, because in many ways, they're already leading well beyond what other librarians are doing around the United States.
So I'd like to rewind before we let you go about one thing you mentioned. You got to do a TED Talk, which is like one of the coolest things ever. Could you kind of talk about how that came about and then what the actual experience was like?
Yeah, that was definitely a bucket list experience. Vancouver is part of the Digital Promise League of Innovative Schools, and as part of a conference that I was attending, there was an invitation to apply to do a TED Talk. And so I pitched this idea of Future Ready Librarians, and it was accepted. And so in a period of about a month's time, I put together this presentation. I had to memorize the whole thing. There are no cue cards, there's no teleprompter, I didn't use any slides, and I basically had to go on stage for 8 minutes and tell my story. and the room was filled with superintendents and education and industry leaders from around the United States. And so it was pretty scary. But my dad, Chuck Ray, was a speech teacher and a drama teacher, and he taught me well. And it was actually on his very birthday that I did that TED Talk. And so I delivered for Chuck and for all those speech teachers around the United States that are still alive.
Well, congratulations, Mark, on the TED Talk and the new position and all your success. And I really appreciate you taking time to talk to us.
I appreciate the invitation. Thanks.
Well, every year the district produces a video to welcome back students, staff, and parents. And this year we asked the question, what do you love about your school? And we got some pretty great answers.
Tell me in one word or more, how would you describe your school?
Maybe kind of exciting.
Exciting. Very exciting. It's social.
Tell me what it means to be a student.
Well, when you're a student, it's all about learning and developing your mind and growing in an academic way and socially.
You know, that's a really good question.
You come to school every day prepared and ready to learn, and you're excited to be at school.
I think being a student is evolving. It's learning how to be a person.
In the grand scheme of things, being a student is having that eagerness to learn about things and expand your knowledge.
Why do you go to school?
I go to school because I have to. I'm just kidding.
I go to
Goals for the future. I have a plan, and this is one of the steps in that plan, and it's helping me get where I want to be.
You have this time in your life where you can focus on learning not just about yourself, but about the world we live in and the opportunities that come with it.
Describe your school.
Diverse and fun.
Compassionate.
Very positive.
Tell me what it means to you to work in a school.
I feel like it's kind of a calling. I think I was born to do this.
And as educators, we have the chance to be mentors, we are caregivers, we're advocates, and we never know what the small day-to-day interactions could do for a child's life.
When I was younger, I felt that the teachers really gave me an opportunity to be successful in life. So I want to provide that opportunity for the younger students.
We all come together for a common goal, and that's really to help our students to become well-rounded adults.
I love going to school.
I really feel positive about going every day. I feel positive about being part of the staff, community, the community as a whole.
It's the only job I know of all my friends where I drive to work happy, and I'm excited for the day I get to spend time with 150 kids who bring me joy, who make my life better. It's the best job in the world.
In one word, I would describe my school as innovative.
Very interesting. It is what you make of it.
If you give up, you won't really learn anything from it. And if you give up once, you think, oh, I already gave up once and I came out all right. And then you do it again and again. And eventually, once you just give up on everything, life will just fall apart.
The best way to help students to find success is really help them define that success is really a series of failures.
Sometimes it takes a lot more effort than sometimes I'm willing to put in, but I have to do that extra mile. I have to push a little bit harder, and then I can get what I want done.
People say success is what makes you, but failure just as much. I would say it's 50-50.
Like realizing, that I'm a strong person and I can do it, and not doubting myself. The feeling of doubt that I had before is kind of gone, and it's just a nice feeling.
I did that difficult task that I thought I would never do, but actually accomplished it.
And in one word, how would you describe your school?
Community.
Community-centered.
Close.
It would probably be kind.
I would describe my school as caring, family. It's important to treat people with respect and kindness because when you give them kindness, they're gonna work hard so that they can give you kindness back.
It's okay to be a little bit different, and it's good to be a little bit different.
I think it's really challenging for us if we go and try to place onto the students where we're at and not really truly understand from where they're coming from.
So seeing everybody working together towards common goals of learning really, it inspires me. It helps me feel like I'm part of something and I have a role in that.
How would you describe your school?
Well, over the next few years, schools in Vancouver could begin to look much different. Vancouver Public Schools Board of Directors is considering a potential bond measure for the February ballot that would replace and repair schools all across the district. Now, the reasons are many, but among them, several of the school's districts are more than 50 years old and are showing signs of wear. That includes failing heating and cooling systems, roof leaks, and more. Another reason for the bond is class sizes. Many of the district schools are holding more students than they were built for, so more classrooms are needed to keep the district in line with state standards. A third reason, technology. Buildings built before the internet aren't equipped to keep up with our modern connected world. Now, to plan for possible school replacements, the district has been holding symposiums where community members, students, parents, and staff come together to plan what they would like to see in a new school. The ideas they generate are given to architects and district leaders who formulate design concepts. The best ideas from the symposiums may be incorporated into the final design. The symposiums began last spring and will continue through the fall. So what is the timeline? As I said, the symposiums began last spring and will continue on through the start of the school year. The school board will decide whether or not to proceed with the bond measure later this fall, and if they approve the measure, it will go out to voters in February. A bond measure must get 60% supermajority to pass. If it does, more planning and work will begin immediately and will continue over the course of a few years until the work is completed. Now, at this point, 8 or 9 schools will be built or rebuilt under the proposed plan. Every school will get some sort of modernization. To give you a better idea of what the planning process looks like and what the problems are at older schools, we're preparing videos for every school that may be replaced. Let's take a look at the one we produced for Walnut Grove Elementary.
Flashback to the year 1952. Dwight Eisenhower wins the presidency. The Today Show makes a debut with host Dave Garroway. Still on the air, it's one of the longest running shows in TV history. A new house cost about $9,000, and in Vancouver, Washington, a new Walnut Grove Elementary School opens its doors to students. Hi, my name is Samuel.
And my name is Mario.
And we would like to tell you about our school. 20 years ago, Walnut Grove was remodeled, and it remains a great place for students to learn. The school has a diverse population and focuses on a positive, inclusive school culture. Students are taught to respect one another and their school to create the best conditions for learning. Because being in class is key to learning, Walnut Grove holds regular attendance celebrations to reward committed students. The atmosphere inside Walnut Grove is fantastic.
But the building itself needs some work.
About 775 students go to Walnut Grove, which is way more than it was designed for. We see the results of that overcrowding in several ways. About 160 students attended classes in portable buildings. The gym isn't big enough to hold every student, so assemblies have to be held in shifts. When students need personalized help from teachers, they have to meet in the hallways instead of private space, which results in a lot of interruptions. There isn't enough space for the school's Family Community Resource Center, which is important in building a strong school community. And in spite of careful maintenance, the building roof leaks. If approved by the school board, voters will decide on a bond measure in February 2017 to replace and repair schools,
including Walnut Grove.
At a community symposium, students, parents, teachers, and community members sketch out what they would like in a replacement school building. Their ideas were given to district administrators, Walnut Grove staff members.
All right, hey, I just told they're about to take the field. We planned a whole big show, and they're kicking early, so we're going to go to it. You want to watch football? Let's watch football. We're going to go back out to Kiggins Bowl, where Leonard Berry and Eddie Thompson have the call on the game. Guys, take it away.
And welcome here to the second game of our doubleheader here at Boggs Field at Kiggins Bowl. Hudson's Bay and Evergreen kicking off right about now. As the Evergreen returner
stepped out of bounds.
Number 20, Javon Hampton there, muffs it and it falls out of bounds. Evergreen will get possession right at the 25-yard line. My name is Leonard Berry. I am here with Bill Thompson, and we will be bringing you this game tonight. Evergreen going to take over at the 23-yard line here after the kickoff. And Hudson's Bay, coached by Mark Olivero, they are 1-1 on the season, coming off a win over Rochester. The Evergreen Plainsmen are 0-2. This is a 3A league matchup between these two teams. As Evergreen gets the game started nicely.
Yeah, nice pass.
Nice pass there from the quarterback, Peyton Monda, the senior. There.
Strong safety. The safety, the weak side safety didn't come up.
Yeah, nice screen
Missed
pass
the
there to
tackle.
get started. And then number 43, Dalvin Johnson. Nice evasiveness there to cause the safety to miss the tackle. And it'll be first down Evergreen on the 35-yard line.
Oh, nice play.
A good stop there. Number 20 carrying the ball, Javon Hampton, stopped in the backfield.
Down lineman won the battle with the offensive lineman.
Yes, they did. It'll be marked as a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 here for the Plainsmen. Bay with all new jerseys this year, look very nice. A little bit of the Oregon duck with the wings on the shoulders. And they show blitz here, and it comes off the right edge. And number 9 carries Dustin Nettles, the junior, 6'2", 192 pounds. Gets 4 yards, but is then tripped up.
Yeah. Nice tackle by the inside linebacker.
Third down and 10 here for Evergreen on this opening drive.
That was a nice scrape by the Hudson's Bay Eagles.
The Eagles defense looking very good so far. And they're going to rule that pass went forward. Incomplete there. Number 18, Peyton Monda looking for his wide receiver, Dalvin Johnson. And Evergreen will line up to punt it away.
Good opening defensive stand for the Hudson's Bay Eagles. That kind of stuff.
And I have a correction here up in the booth. Number 43 for the Plainsmen is actually Trey Ratcliffe. We were given the roster was incorrect. And a nice punt there by the Plainsmen. We'll go out of bounds, 28-yard line. A 37-yard punt there for the Plainsmen. And the Eagles will take over with some all right field position.
Yeah, it looks like Evergreen and Hudson's Bay have similar type offenses. Evergreen, kind of a one back, saw a little bit of counter. Hudson's Bay is one back, sometimes two back. And they're going to try to. Looks like they want to run the football. Both teams want to run that football.
Again, Hudson's Bay offensive line, they got some big boys up there. The center, absolutely massive compared to the rest of the other linemen. And a nice run there.
Marco Cadiz.
Marco Cadiz carries for 9 yards on first down, and that will give the Eagles 2nd and 2 from the 36-yard line. So far we've seen Evergreen in sort of a spread set, and then Bay in more of this pro-style offense. And Bill, what are the advantages of the spread compared to the pro style?
Well, with the spread, I think Evergreen's going to try to, I noticed sort of line splits were a little bit wide. They want to hit quick. The spread is more wide open. The pro style with Hudson's Bay, they want to be able to, push people downfield with that line size and, get some running room for number 23, Marco Cadiz.
Yes, absolutely. He was a spotlight player in this week's paper, talking about how he's really helped the Eagles. And there he is delivering a nice block. However, the quarterback, Jordan Hickman, is hit from behind on the throw, and it causes the incomplete, bringing it to 4th and 1, deep in their own territory. Interesting to see here. Will Mark Olivero go for it this early on in the game?
Oh, you can watch that.
And it looks like the punt team is going to come onto the field here for the Eagles. Probably a wise decision this early in the game. Don't want to give up that good of field position to the Plainsmen. So, and a nice punt there. It'll be down at the 18-yard line.
Nice punt.
A beautiful punt there from number 1, Carter Morse, the sophomore wide receiver / cornerback for this Eagles team. Kind of hard to see the numbers all the way up here in the press box. The Eagles have that black on black look to their uniforms. It looks very stylish. Just makes it quite hard for us to read them from up here. Evergreen will go out on their second offensive possession after the first possession. Stalled out near the 40-yard line. And a handoff there. Number 20, Javon Hampton, the senior running back, picks up 15 yards and is going to move the chains up to the Evergreen 35-yard line.
Yeah, the linebacker missed the read, and so once they hit the line of scrimmage, he was off for 15 yards.
Yeah, and I just came from the Skyview O'Day game, and the Skyview linebackers missing reads led to a plethora of long runs. And Bay shows blitz here on this down. It's going to be a play action. They're going to look deep down the field. He's got his receiver, number 5, Jonathan Sparing.
It was a nice ball by the quarterback.
That was a beautiful ball by number 18, Peyton Monda. However, there is a flag back down in the backfield, and it's probably going to be coming back, it looks like. Yeah, it will go against the Plainsmen. An eligible receiver downfield, and that will wipe out a 40-yard gain there on that play.
Yeah, I'm sure the defensive coaches for Bay will be talking to the secondary. Can't let the guy get, behind him.
Both the safety and the corner taken deep there, both beaten deep. And here we'll get our first look at referee Ray Osman making the call. The officiating crew tonight, the umpire is Josh Williamson, the line judge, John Pellerin, the linesman, Andy Toulson, and the back judge is Ryan Loss. As the head referee, Ray Osman, makes the call right there. we see a fly sweep to number 43. Breaks a few tackles there. Picks up 9 yards on the fly sweep.
Yeah, the outside linebacker was in proper position. He just didn't make the tackle.
Yeah, and Trey Ratcliffe there on the carry breaks 3 tackles on his way to a 9-yard gain. Impressive running there from the wide receiver. And usually you want to try to get your wide receivers the ball in space, not usually hand it off to them. Trey lines up in the slot here on this play. Huge hole there. And it'll be a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, the linebackers did a little better job that time.
Javon Hampton, the linebackers did a better job, but the defensive line was almost nowhere to be seen. And so it will be 1st and 10 for Evergreen. We have 7:55 here left in this first quarter. Both teams have had an offensive possession and both punted away. Evergreen on their second one right now. And once again,
Real nice play by the cornerback.
once again, Trey Ratcliffe able to break a tackle and get a few yards, but you're correct. Great play by the cornerback to be able to wrap up, stop his momentum. So far, Evergreen moving the ball quite nicely here on this drive. Now, Evergreen has just gone down from 4A into the 3A. This is their first year in the 3A league, while Bay makes the jump from 2A back up to 3A. Peyton Wanda going to escape pressure and roll out to his right and find the open receiver. Number 3, Adil Haudzik, junior wide receiver. And a great play there by Peyton Wanda, using his legs to get outside the pocket and keep that play alive.
Yeah, the Bay down lineman had a good rush. The down lineman of the Hudson's Bay had a good rush, but they just weren't able to tackle him. And Evergreen kid just got out on the outside.
Yeah, nice play there by Nadil Haudzik, staying alive, giving his quarterback an option there when he escaped the pressure. We have a man in motion. It's number 6, Adolfo Santos. The handoff will go to number 9, Dustin Nettles.
Yeah, Bay's losing contain there on the ends.
Bay's defensive line, while getting a nice pass rush so far, not doing much on the run defense side of the ball. Now as the Plainsmen will bring back on Javon Hampton in that tailback spot. So they go with a pistol look here.
That's good defense.
That is good defense. That's number 65, Sergio Vega, getting off the block there, block shedding to tackle Javon Hampton for no gain.
Yeah, that was good penetration by the 2 tackles. Defensive tackles.
And that's what Bay's going to need tonight if they want to slow down that fly sweep, that counter.
Well, they're going to have to, if they want to take a fly sweep, the outside linebackers are going to have to recognize it fast and come on up.
Yeah, and that's what.
And make the play.
That's what happens when you get those people in motion and then you fake it a couple of times. Can really mess with that outside linebacker. As Monda throws back corner, maybe looking for number 9, Trent Hyman. Number 15.
Just out of bounds.
Antoine Archer catches it, however, out of bounds, and that'll bring up 4th down. Plainsmen look like they're bringing on the field goal unit. And a nice drive there by Evergreen, however, down here, got inside the 10, couldn't get anything going. Will be number 40, Keelan Burris, the kicker here. and it will be good. So Evergreen, with 5:10 left in the first quarter, takes a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a nice kick.
It was a very nice kick. A lot of times you don't expect high schoolers to have a kicker like that. Very nice kick there. What was that, about
Well, football coaches are always looking for those good soccer players.
it's about a 25-yard field goal there to put the Plainsmen up in the first quarter. That was Keelan Burris on the field goal. And so now Hudson's Bay will come back out on offense. We will see what they can do. 5:10 remaining. So once again, it will be Keelan Burris to kick it off for the Plainsmen here, number 40. Back to receive for the Eagles is hard to tell because of the style of their jerseys. It looks like number 23, Marco Cadiz, the running back.
There might be 3 on our side.
So number
Leonard.
3 and number 23, we got Julio Vara and Marco Cadiz. Back to receive for the Eagles as Keelan Burris is going to kick it off here after the Evergreen field goal. The kick does indeed goes a little bit shorter. And they're going to fake the handoff and then give it off to Cottage. A nice play, and he's through the middle. Only the kicker to beat. He beats him to the outside. Does he have enough speed? The kicker cannot make the horse collar, and Marco Cottage on the trick kickoff return play takes it all the way back for a touchdown. Let's see a replay on that one.
And no flags.
No flags are on the play. It will stand. A very nice trick play there. Number 1, Carter Morris handing it off to Marco Cadiz after faking it to the other shorter returner. And that is definitely a way to get your offense in the game. As we'll see the replay right here. Evergreen not entirely sure who has the ball, and Cadiz decides to go right up the middle. Beats Kalen Burris to the outside. Burris reaches for the horse collar tackle, can't get it, and Cadiz takes it into the end zone. And we are here awaiting the extra point. A nice play there by the Hudson's Bay Eagles. And that puts them on top for the moment, 6-3.
And like you said, Leonard, that was, it looked like to me from up here, that could have been a horse collar, the attempt.
Oh, no, and
one of the officials are down.
Yeah, we're seeing the stoppage for this point after. One of the officials limping pretty heavily to the sideline, being helped by the head referee. I'm not entirely sure which official this is, but we have a trainer down there, and we do have the head official. We're hoping it's nothing serious. Never want to see anyone get hurt, especially an official. The official will be attended to down there on the sideline. Looks like we will get the point after attempt underway here in a few seconds. But how about that for a quick strike? The Eagles, after giving up the field goal, return the kickoff 85 yards in 14 seconds for the touchdown. And they're now lining up for the extra point. The holder will be number 21, Junior Flores. And the kicker, I'm not too sure. Can't see his number from over here. It's up, and it is good. So, with the official out, the umpire gives us the signal from behind. So the extra point goes through. It is now Hudson's Bay Eagles 7, Evergreen's Plainsmen 3, with 4:56 left in this first quarter.
I think it was this guy right here, the kicker, because that's the one kicker that's.
So the kicker, Alfonso Barajas.
Leonard, I think this is the judge that.
Okay. So John Pellerin looks like is the official that is down on the sideline. He's limping around a little bit. Looks like he can barely put any weight. And that'll definitely have an impact on this game, having an official out. As we have the scoreboard up here. Evergreen 3, Hudson's Bay 7. So Hudson's Bay will kick it off after their touchdown on the kick return, and this one will go out of bounds. It will be flagged, and it will be brought back to, let's see, should be the 40-yard line. It's going to be the 35-yard line instead. My bad, folks. This is not the NFL. It does not go to the 40-yard line. It goes to the 35. So Evergreen takes over the 35-yard line after the kick return touchdown. And out comes Peyton Monda and the Evergreen offense in the pistol set. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, and a running back directly behind him in this pistol formation. He will turn and hand it off to number 20, Javon Hampton, but he will be stopped for a loss of a yard, and it will bring up 2nd and 11.
That was number 5. I think that's Toa, the linebacker.
You are correct. Akatola Kamatue, the linebacker for the Eagles. And the Eagles defense, while they did give up a few yards on the way down there, they were able to hold on at the end and not give up the touchdown, which is always encouraging for a defense. Monda fakes the handoff here, rolls out right, and overthrows number 15, Antoine Archer, and it is intercepted by number 1, Carter Morse there. And the Eagles will take over. The ball will be spotted at the 38-yard line after the interception. And Peyton Monda did not get all of his arm into that one. He had a man open downfield, however, underthrew him and overthrew the next closest receiver right into the coverage. So Bay will come back out on offense. All right, and so the Eagles come out in an I form, 2 men to the right side in the wide receiver position. We have a nice running play there. Marco Cadiz picking up 13 yards. Nice power run out of that I formation.
And that fullback leads through and kind of cleans some things out. And Marco got inside there and made a nice run, made a nice cut.
Yes, he did. The fullback and the pulling guard really helped clear that lane. And when Cadiz sees a lane, he seems to take it almost every time. He's been a great leader for this Eagles team, and he's really been spotlighted coming into this season. It's the motion number 3, Julio Vara out of the backfield. Will be a pass a little bit overthrown, trying to get to Cadiz, and Antoine Archer not able to come up with the interception for Evergreen as he laid out to try to make the catch. Jordan Hickman, quarterback for the Eagles, coming here to the sideline to get the play to bring it back to his teammates. The Eagles offense able to show a multitude of things. They've shown the spread, they've shown the eye, showing the single back. We got 2 on the right and a tight end lined up on the right. It's going to be a sprint out to the right, and they're going to throw a screen back to the left. And he has blockers. It's going to be number 12 on the carry. Breaks the tackle. Number 12, Miles Artis, the wide receiver linebacker combo for this Eagles team. And a beautifully executed screen pass there. Goes for 40 yards.
Kind of fooled Evergreen. They saw the screen to the right, and then now they came back to the screen to the left.
And we're going to have a replay here of that screen play. There it is. There it goes. Miles Artis. He's got tons of blocking upfield. Breaks that tackle right there to get another 5 extra yards.
Yeah, the lineman really got out nice.
Lineman absolutely. And here's Cottis making some nice cuts, and he takes it in for the touchdown. A 10-yard rushing touchdown for Marco Cottis, and that puts the Eagles up. And a nice play there. That is Cottis' second touchdown on the game. Kick return touchdown, and now a rushing touchdown. Really providing a spark here for the Eagles early on in the first quarter. The extra point is good, and that makes it 14-3 as we get a replay of that run for Cottage. Oh, we're going to get a replay of the screen pass to Artis, actually. Look at that lineman blocking downfield. Nice play there. Nice catch and run and nice blocking. And the Eagles go up 14-3 on the 10-yard touchdown rush from Marco Cottage.
Well, right now, Bay seems to have the momentum.
Yes, they absolutely do. But in high school football, momentum can shift in an instant, as we have seen so many times.
That's nice run.
And so this Hudson's Bay team looks much improved from the team from last year, only winning 2 games. Okay. And we're going to have that touchdown, the run from Marco Cottis. Gets nice blocking, breaks a couple tackles, and takes it to the outside. As Bay kicks it away. And that one goes out of bounds as well. So once again, another Plainsman possession that will start at the 35-yard line. And we'll see if Peyton Monda can recover from that interception he threw on the last possession. Now, Bill, when you're coming out after throwing an interception, do you like to start the tone off with a run, or do you want to go straight back to the air after you just thrown an interception and show some faith in your quarterback?
Well, that's it. It all depends on what kind of faith Terry Hyde has over there with his quarterback. A lot of coaches would just start up, try to get everybody to get their composure back, get calmed down, and try to move the football on the ground a little bit.
And Bay was expecting it as they bring the blitz, but Javon Hampton will be able to scamper for 5 yards there. Bay blitzed off the left side. Hampton scampers to the right, and he will pick up 5 yards. And we'll make it 2nd and 5 here for the Plainsmen. So once again, Plainsmen in this pistol formation, 2 receivers left. They bring number 9 in motion, and they hand it off to him on the fly sweep. Bay was ready for it.
See, the linebackers in the end actually was right there for the play. They did a real nice job.
So all 3 Hudson's Bay linebackers crashed hard on that sweep. The first one forcing him to cut back, the next 2 being there to create the tackle. And that'll be a loss of 3 yards, setting up a 3rd and 8 for the Plainsmen. On the carry there, that was number 9, Dustin Nettles, losing 3 yards. Evergreen still in the pistol formation. Peyton Monda halfway under the center and halfway in front of his running back. Completes a pass to number 43, Trey Ratcliffe. And Ratcliffe able to take it out to the 49-yard line. Evergreen converts on 3rd and 8, and they'll keep this drive alive.
Yeah, the Evergreen guy came straight across, and the linebackers didn't pick him up.
We'll get a replay right here. There's Ratcliffe. The linebackers did not pick him up. He's able to outrun a couple defenders to the sideline, use that speed. Brings up 1st down. They're going to spot the ball right on the 50-yard line here. Hand it off to Hampton. And a 3-yard rush there. It's been a little bit tough sledding here for Hampton, not getting as many yards as he would like to, but sometimes those shorter runs will end up creating something much bigger later on in the game. Can really wear down that front 7 of the defense. So we have 30 seconds here left in this first quarter. And Evergreen's going to come out with 2 in the slot and a wide receiver far right. And they're going to hand it off to Hampton again, who gets another 3 yards.
Good defense, though. They linebackers fill that real well.
And the Hudson's Bay linebackers making some nice play. As you mentioned earlier, Toa, the sophomore for this linebacker team, plays in the middle there. And that is the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is 14 for the Eagles, 3 for the Plainsmen. And we're going to go to the studio and get some updates from Nick Vole.
Hey, thanks, guys. We have a bunch of great stuff coming up for you at this halftime. Among them, Hudson's Bay's music program is booming thanks in part to its talented staff. We'll have an interview with the band director, Craig Bunch, about what they're doing over there. Plus, we'll talk to members of the Bay football team about their move back up to the 3A level this season. And based on this game tonight, it's going pretty well. Plus, we'll have highlights from the first half and a whole lot more. We're also following you guys tonight on social media. Let's take a look at what we're seeing out there. This is from Micah Rice of the Columbian, who is at the game tonight covering that. It says Evergreen and Hudson's Bay about to party like it's 2005. That's the last time they played each other in a league game because, of course, Evergreen was at the 4A level, Hudson's Bay at the 3A. Hudson's Bay dropped down, and now both of them converging back at the 3A level this year. And, of course, we've got one more here. This is from the Daily Historian we're keeping track of. Astoria up 31-0 over Fort Vancouver. They're playing that game out at Astoria tonight. Fort Vancouver representing Southwest Washington out on the Oregon coast. And we are just about into the second quarter, so I'm going to go ahead and toss it right back to Leonard and Willie. Guys, go ahead and take it away.
And we are back here starting the second quarter as Peyton Monda hands the ball off to Dustin Nettles, and Nettles picks up 15 yards there on the run, 20 yards on the run there, my bad. Brings it all the way down to the Eagle 22. The score 14-3 here if you're just tuning in. Start of the second quarter between the Eagles of Hudson's Bay and the Evergreen Plainsmen.
That was quick. That Evergreen kid's quick.
Yeah, very quick, Dustin Nettles. And that's why they get him involved on those fly sweeps a lot. Run him out of the slot position. As Hampton there powers his way for 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the Plainsmen. If you're wondering how the score got to where it is, we had an Evergreen field goal by Keelan Burritz, then a Marco Kaditz 85-yard kick return. Peyton Monda threw an interception, and then Marco Kaditz once again rushed for a 10-yard touchdown to put the score at 14-3 for the Hudson's Bay Eagles. As Monda under center here, they have 2 tight ends off to the right. And they're going to run a counter back to the left side. And Nettles has the corner. Nettles bites through some contact. I believe they're going to spot the ball at the 1-yard line. Nettles reached out for the end zone. The refs are going to have a discussion about it here. We'll see. They will spot the ball at the 1-yard line. We're going to have a replay right here. We'll see. So it will be first and goal here for the Plainsmen. As we're still waiting on that replay to come in. All right, looks like we're not going to have a replay, but the Plainsmen are at the 1-yard line after Nettles has an impressive 14-yard run. And the Eagles stack the box here to defend against the run. And they show blitz as well. But they hand it off to Dustin Nettles, and it goes in. 1-yard touchdown rush for Dustin Nettles. That makes the score 9-14 in favor of the Hudson's Bay Eagles.
Yeah, Evergreen just ran kind of a counterplay, like you said, Leonard. And there was no one in the back door.
Yeah, they had some nice the pulling guard and the pulling tight end to come across. Nettles jab step to the right and then went back to the left. Created the illusion that they were going to be running right. And he sprung it for a big gain. And here comes the extra point. It goes through the uprights, and the score now 10-14 with 11 minutes and 3 seconds here left in the second quarter. So it will be Evergreen to kick the ball back to the Eagles, who had a great offensive possession last time, capped off by the Marco Cottage 10-yard touchdown rush. And the Eagles have really been pounding the ball so far this game, Bill, moving it nicely along the ground.
Yeah, both teams now are kind of settled down, and a lot of times football games are won in 3 or 4 different plays. Right now, they're pretty evenly matched.
Absolutely. Only that kick return really for the Eagles kind of giving them the edge right now.
Yeah, right.
And what a fake that was. Let's just talk about that a little bit more.
That was a great call.
They tricked everyone.
Yeah.
Number 1, Carter Morse faked it to the other up man, number 21, Junior Flores. And then Marco Cotitz came along and just took it right out of his hands, took it right up the middle, 85 yards for a touchdown. Very impressive play call. A gutsy play call, too, to put that into your...
Yeah.
That's something you definitely practice.
Oh, yeah, they practice that a few times. Those are kinds of plays that coaches kind of practice on Thursday nights a lot, and gets the kids excited about a play. It's a little bit of confusion, misdirection, deception.
Whenever it works out like that, you always got to be happy about that. The ball is kicked away here, and it is missed. And I believe Evergreen did recover this. The ball was muffed by Carter Morse, and then Morse was upended by an Evergreen bullet coming down the field. Evergreen falls on it, and they will get the ball back at the 10-yard line. Not a good break there for the Eagles at all.
No, that's too bad.
And we're going to have a replay here of that kickoff. As you can see, there's a scrum for the ball right at the end. And referee very clearly can see that the Plainsmen did recover that. And it will be their chance on offense again after just scoring the touchdown on the Dustin Nettles 1-yard touchdown rush. Evergreen with a great chance to take a lead here. It's Monda making sure his linemen know the protection schemes here. He has Dustin Nettles. Yonda has Dustin Nettles lined up behind him. The Eagles bring the pressure off the right edge. Yonda is swallowed up.
Yeah, nice stop.
Had
good pressure there in the down lineman.
Yes, the down lineman of the Eagles really trying to fight off those blocks there to stop the run. They get about half a yard. We'll give them a full yard there, so that'll make it 2nd and goal still from the 9-yard line. for the Plainsmen.
They're bringing in 2 other guys from Evergreen. They might be thinking about coming outside. Not sure.
Yes, they bring in Javon Hampton. Dustin Nettles and Javon Hampton splitting time there at running back. Both extremely quick. Nice acceleration and good vision as well. As the Eagles show blitz. And they don't bring it, but the ball is fumbled. And I want to say it's recovered by the Evergreen lineman. It is recovered by number 79 for Evergreen, Alex Rodriguez. Oh, my bad, number 78, Reyes Salantoa. Coming in at 6'3", 407 pounds.
Wow.
That is not someone you want blocking you.
That's a big man.
That is a big man, and I don't think a lot of that defensive end for Bay is having a difficult time getting off the block, and I'm not surprised. Bay goes pistol again with the play fake. He has a man, but it is incomplete.
Kind of a little bit of a reverse boot there with the quarterback, and Bay covered that well.
Yeah, Bay is getting some nice pressure on these passing downs, finding a way to get upfield and put some pressure on Peyton Monda. That'll bring up 4th and 12 here, and the kicking unit's going to come back out. Killen Burris hit a 25-yarder earlier. This one from 29 yards from the right hash. She lines it up. He's making sure. Keelan Burris is making sure that it is lined up just to his liking. The hold is good, and it is
good.
Not sure if it was blocked or it was hit. The spin on it makes me think it was blocked. I couldn't tell if anyone got a hand on it.
No, I couldn't either.
So many black jerseys in there. We're going to have a replay. We'll see. We got a nice close-up here. The ball is, it looks like, just a missed kick, really.
He's kind of kicked it low.
Yeah, just scuffed it off the side of his foot. And so Evergreen misses an opportunity to get some points back there. And the score still stands here at Eagles 14, Plainsmen 10, 9:33 left in the second quarter. So that makes Keelan Burris 1 for 2 on field goal attempts today. Hit 25 yards, missed 29. The Eagles will take over the 12-yard line? Maybe?
No, it should be go out to the 20.
Is that a high school rule that I'm unaware of? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It goes in the end zone like that.
Oh, yes.
On
yes,
a
yes.
punt or a field goal try and it goes in the end zone, they bring it out to the 20.
All right, so the touchback there on the missed field goal attempt brings the Hudson's Bay Eagles out to the 20-yard line. And we'll see if Marco Kaditz gets some more carries here. So the Plainsmen showing blitz, and they bring it. Kaditz still able to get a yard. Plainsmen blitz one man off the left side.
Yeah, numbers. I think it was number 7. I don't know if he's the corner or a linebacker came off the corner, off the edge.
Number 7, Dylan Goodpaster, the junior linebacker, came off the outside edge. Probably had him rocked down in a little bit of a more of the outside end. So we have trips left for the Eagles, and Kaditz is in the backfield. And they're going to fake the toss, hand it off to number 3, Julio Vara.
That was a fake quick pitch counter with number 3 coming inside.
Yeah, that was a nicely designed play there by the Eagles. The Eagles pulling out some trick plays here. First on the kick return, and now the fake pitch counter. And so it brings up a 3rd and about half a yard for the Eagles. And they're going to sneak it.
And he got it.
He did get it, you're right. 2 yards there up to the 31-yard line, and that'll make it a first down. So Hudson's Bay here showing some very good signs with their offense, moving the ball quite nicely. As Jordan Hickman has not been required to throw the ball all that much. mostly putting it in the hands of Marco Kaditz and Julio Vara to carry the ball for the Eagles.
Yeah, and that was an important, third down, fourth down, whatever that was, to get the first down, because now they can keep the momentum going.
And once again, Hudson's Bay goes run, and once again, Kaditz gets 5 yards. So Kaditz gets 5 yards. And we're going to have a replay here of that run. You see the Eagles' offensive line pushing their way up the field, moving the Evergreen defensive lineman almost 5 yards off the ball, Bill.
Yeah, and the defensive end, number 43 from Evergreen, just, flew upfield. He might have thought it was going to be a pass or a quick pitch again.
We're looking, you want your defensive end more to play contain, kind of bottle that run up.
Yeah, you do.
And there's a play action rollout. Nicely defended by number 43, Trey Ratcliffe. He's been quite active on both offense and defense tonight, running a few fly sweeps and breaking up a couple of passes for this Evergreen defense. So that brings up 3rd and 4 for the Hudson's Bay Eagles. We're going to do a bit of a personnel swap. We're going to bring on number 13, Dominic Freeman, and number 7, Polina Gasper, both wide receivers here. And maybe a throwing down?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Not as good at blocking, so
they have twins out there now. So
one wide receiver on the line, two wide receivers on the line, 2 wide receivers in the slot, and they are going to throw it.
No.
However, Hickman overthrows everyone. Had a few open receivers there, but couldn't find the mark, and that'll bring up 4th and 4. Now comes the punting unit. So Hickman yields to the punter, number 1, Carter Morris. My bad, number 3, Julio Vara is the punter. So we'll see how this punt goes for Vara. Oh, and he's going to fake it. And then he punts it. And that was the strangest fake punt. I believe it was a rollout, one read punt if the read isn't there.
Well, he kind of rolled out there, and he kind of rolls before he punts it. That's kind of I don't know, soccer people do that. I don't know. I've seen it the last few years. The colleges do that. They'll kind of run to the right or the left and then punt it. And maybe he thought, that the Evergreen kid was so close to him, he was going to block it. And then he got loose, and then he kicked it.
A very interesting play. However, the punt only goes for 10 yards. And so Wanda escapes the sack. Toa Kamatule there gets to the quarterback and then gives up on the quarterback.
Yeah, he didn't think he had the ball.
Yeah, he fell for that play fake pretty hard. The Plains would still lose 2 yards, and it'll go down as a sack against Wanda, but could have been even worse.
Yeah, it could have been a big-time loss.
But nice play there by Toa Kamatule to get into the backfield so quick. We see a shot of the Hudson's Bay sideline. Their team up 14-10 with 6:57 in the second quarter. Monda hands it off to Hampton, who fights his way and then is dragged down for 2-yard gain.
Yeah.
3-yard gain.
Yeah, that was good defense. They, Evergreen right now didn't get a whole lot of push there, but I got about 3-4 yards, so that wasn't a bad.
And we've seen
that wasn't a bad push on a second down.
No, but now it will be 3rd down and 9 after the loss. So looks like a passing down, and the Eagles are going to come out in a nickel defense. And we've seen both Hampton and Nettles for Evergreen, and Nettles has been the superior ball carrier so far, racking up more yards on the ground as the play fake fools no one, and he is under pressure. Monda goes down, but he was able to throw it away.
Yeah, nice pressure by I don't have the number, but that was really nice pressure of someone coming off the end there for Hudson's Bay.
And that left defensive end looks like number 77.
That'd be the right defensive end, Hunter.
My bad. The right defensive end, number 77, Casey Wishin. And Evergreen, once again, forced to punt. And this Hudson's Bay team looks much improved from last year's team.
They look good. They do. And they looked good last year, too. But they were in a lot of ball games.
They played a lot of close ones, only able to manage 2 wins last year. This is their first 3A league game. As that ball is punted into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback.
Yeah, that'll be a touchback.
The Eagles will take over at the 20-yard line. But touching on, Mark Olivero's done a great job with this team, really turning them around. And then also, Marco Kaditz has been an outspoken team leader, really kind of the glue that holds this bunch of brothers together.
Yeah, Mark's done a great job. The assistants have done a good job, a very good job. They've done well. And of course, Hudson's Bay's got a lot of kids out this year. They had about 90 kids out, I think, during the summer. I see Evergreen's got an awful lot of kids out, too. And so both schools are in the right direction.
Absolutely. Looks very good for 2 3A programs. Cottage finds a big hole and carries for 8 yards there on first down. And Cottage, and when he plays well, the Eagles play well. And right now he's playing very well. Has a kick return touchdown and a rushing touchdown. And he's been carrying for quite a few yards so far early on. They've been really riding his shoulders.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job carrying the rock. Except he's getting help. There's good blocking up front.
There's this Hudson's Bay line. It's very good right now.
Oh, that's a good play by defense. That was good defense by Evergreen.
It was a
good pressure.
The defensive end, good job to split outside with the linebackers were waiting.
Yeah, they won the job in the trenches there, the down lineman for Evergreen.
And you're not going to win. You're not going to win the battle at the trench every time. No. But when you win it more times than often, you're going to have pretty good success in that football game.
Exactly.
So here come the Eagles on 3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. 4:54 and ticking left in the second quarter. We come out in I formation, and we got a false start here. Number 1, Carter Morse, and Bill, a wide receiver false starting. You don't see that often. Usually told to watch the ball when you're a wide receiver, not listen to the snap count.
Yeah, that's correct. And then usually, if he comes up the line of scrimmage, the officials will give him a nod whether he's on or off, and so he knows he's on. A good official will do that. And then, you're right. You don't go until the ball's snapped.
We saw last game a false start for Skyview. One of their wide receivers false started, and here Hudson's Bay, one of theirs false start. Just got to make sure to watch that ball as Bay comes out in that I form again. And it's going to be a rollout fake to Kaditz. Kaditz has got a hole. And Kaditz taken down from behind by number 43, Trey Ratcliffe.
Yeah, that's a sprint draw. The quarterback started to sprint to the right.
We're going to have a replay of it. You can break it down for us here, Bill.
Well, the quarterback's going to sprint to the right a little bit and then hand him the ball in there, and he's going to come back to the left. And that's kind of called a sprint draw.
That's a beautifully designed play, and it was blocked expertly.
It was.
By that Hudson's Bay
it's a
line.
nice play. It's a good play. Good call.
And those are complex blocking schemes too. When you have to have half the line going one way and half the line going the other.
Well, I'm not sure. The guard might have trapped it in there. It was just an inside handoff right there, and that was a good play.
And that right there is a handoff to Toa Kamatule.
Yeah.
Takes it for 12 yards.
Yeah.
And a Bay first down.
Yeah, Evergreen's going to have to shore up their line a little bit here.
Yeah, the Bay line getting good pressure on defense and getting good push on the offensive side. So far, this has been a very closely fought battle between these two teams.
Good football game.
So we have offset I, a little bit of strong formation with the fullback off to the right. Evergreen shows blitz. It's handed off to Kaditz.
Yeah. Evergreen blitzed the linebacker in there, and they still got about 4 yards there.
Yeah, about 4 yards. You're right, and it'll be 2nd and 6, and that's when you know your offensive line is getting fantastic push off the ball.
Yeah, there had to be some space because Evergreen brought somebody, a linebacker, right in through that hole. And Hudson's Bay still, managed to move the sticks for about 4 yards.
And that is one of the benefits Hudson's Bay Pro set. They have a tight end on the left side, fullback in the backfield with the running back as they hand dive to Toa Katule. That'll go for 3 yards, bringing up 3rd and 3.
Yeah,
one of the advantages of that pro style.
Yeah, they're just blasting right up inside, and they're giving it to the fullback. You know, sometimes they give that to the tailback or whatever, but fullback's carrying that football and doing a nice job.
Yeah, it's so hard to stop when you don't know who's going to get the ball out of that backfield.
Yeah, you know, and it's kind of a lot of teams don't run that anymore. Well, you know, and that's a good play.
Well, sunset. Why do you keep saying sunset? O'Day, there's the fake pitch again.
Yeah, no, it's a corner. You know, I see the linebacker just blitzed into it.
Yeah. Evergreen snuffs it out there, and that'll be a loss of 5. We'll have a replay there. We'll see number 59.
See this linebacker here?
Yeah,
there he is.
He's coming on the blitz.
Yeah, just like a present.
Number 59, Alex Alexander on the tackle there, and that'll be a loss of 4 yards. So 4th and 6, and the Eagles will stay out there. Interesting here. They'll come out in the shotgun. Haven't tried to pass the ball much yet, so it'll be interesting to see if they do still try to throw this ball. And Hickman tries to lead his receiver, number 7, Paulina Gasper, but to no avail, and it will be a turnover on downs. And so Hudson's Bay had a nice drive going there, stalls out once they hit the other side of the 50-yard line. The Plainsmen will take over. And so for the Plainsmen on offense, Bill, what do you think they need to do to put some points on the board here? They've looked a bit stagnant their past few possessions.
Well, I think what they have to do is, run. They have to get on the edge. They have to get on the edge quick. And with 9 or someone else, now there's a quick, kind of like a bubble pass out there, and that was a nice play.
That is a nice play. Number 43, Trey Ratcliffe on the catch and run there.
Yeah.
We have a flag back down on the field. We're going to get a replay right here. We'll see Monda flip it out. Nice juke move right there until he's finally brought down.
In the Bay corners, the secondary has to come up quick when you see that. Boom, right up there.
Yeah, one of the hardest parts about playing corner, you got to recognize so many different types of plays.
You do. Both the corner and the saver when they have like a twin set out there.
But it looks like we are going to get a holding penalty. And that long run there by Trey Ratcliffe is going to be negated.
Yeah, they got something out.
It's going to be negated a lot. He took it up to the 50-yard line. They're going to be back at the 25. So what goes from a 15-yard gain turns into a 10-yard loss here for the Plainsmen. And that will make it 1st and 20. Probably a passing down here for Peyton Monda as they come out in the pistol. No, he's going to hand it to Hampton.
Good defense. That's good defense. Linebacker stepped right up there. So they went trips left and then the wide, the split in on the right side here. And so they tried to move people out of there, the box down there, as you call it.
Yeah, 3-yard rush there for Hampton.
Yeah.
And the Hudson's Bay defense swarming to the ball.
Yeah, the down lineman and linebacker came up and smacked, made a nice play.
So we have 1:08 here left in the second quarter, and we will be going to Nick Vole in the studio for our halftime report. He'll give you an update on the...
Yeah, it looks like there's a timeout.
There is going to be a timeout from Hudson's Bay. Nick Vole is going to give you an update on what happened in the Skyview O'Day game, as well as the first half of the Hudson's Bay Evergreen game. Great. Both games have been great so far. O'Day Skyview game finished 35-32 in favor of O'Day. The Storm with a 14-point comeback in the last 2 minutes of the game to make it extremely close. And right now, the Eagles of Hudson's Bay up 14-10 on the Plainsmen of Evergreen. Give you a recap on the scoring so far. Keelan Burridge hit a 25-yard field goal in the first quarter, which was immediately negated because Marco Kaditz on a fake kickoff return took it 85 yards to the house And then Marco Kaditz again after an Evergreen interception, a 10-yard rushing touchdown. Dustin Nettles then had a 1-yard rushing touchdown for Evergreen to make the score 10-14. And then Keelan Burris missed a field goal, missed a 25-yarder, 29-yarder about 5 minutes ago with 6 minutes left in the second half. And so the score stands 14-10.
Yeah. This is a big stand for Hudson's Bay, and it's a really important offensive set for series for Evergreen.
Monda goes through his progression, finds Trey Radcliffe, and did he hang on? He hung on. So that'll be a 14-yard gain there. A nice catch by Trey Radcliffe, being hit by Carter Morris. And it's going to be a timeout
for Evergreen.
Taken by the Plainsmen.
Yeah, this is a big down for Evergreen. It's 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 with 59 seconds left on the clock. With Evergreen will have 2 timeouts remaining after this, and it'll be interesting if they can convert here with their offensive strategy is going into halftime. Probably, since they're down, going to try to throw to the end zone, you think?
Oh, I don't think he'll throw to the end zone, but I think he'll throw. Well, he's got to get a first down, so it'll probably be a 10-yarder, 10, 12-yard, some kind of crossing pattern or out pattern.
The teams come back out from the timeout. 3rd and 7 for the Plainsmen on the 42-yard line.
This is a big down for Evergreen, big down for Hudson's Bay.
This is a big down, and points before halftime can always swing the momentum going into the locker room.
You betcha.
So, could change the halftime talk from a bad one to a good one, as we'll see the fake fly sweep to Dustin Nettles, and he will take a shot downfield. It's number 15, Antoine Archer, who drops it.
Yeah, that was good defense, though. That Hudson's Bay kid stayed with him pretty well.
That was good defense.
Number 9's got good speed.
Number 1, Carter Morris, out there on the coverage. Antoine Morris, we're going to get a replay here. You'll see. Monda goes deep. It hits Antoine in the hands.
Oh, it did hit him in the hands, yeah.
Not able to pull it in.
Yeah.
Morse was all over him, and Evergreen will bring out the punting unit for the 3rd time this game. He rolls out, and it's going to be a fake, and it's going to be dropped. So Hudson's Bay will take over at the 42-yard line with 47 seconds.
That was good pressure by Bay coming like that to make that the punter, roll out and get on the run. That was, they stayed with their assignment. Hudson's Bay did, and then the Evergreen kid came out. I thought for a second there he might try and run it, but he didn't. He put it up in the air, and then he kind of threw it a little bit short.
Yeah, he left it a bit short, and number 5, Jonathan Sparing, couldn't come down with the catch. So Bay takes over, 2 timeouts, 47 seconds left in the second quarter, and they're on the 42-yard line. And they go shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Tailback lined up to the right, stays into pass block, and that's intercepted. Number 17, Sheevan Rhodes. He is going down the sideline, gets a couple blocks, cuts it back. He's going to take it into the end zone. There are 2 flags down at the 50-yard line. So that could be a huge momentum shifter depending on what the penalty is.
Could be.
I believe it's roughing the passer. I saw Jordan Hickman on the ground there in pain. It looked like he got hit. We'll see what Ray Osman says here, but a pick 6 for Sheevan Rhodes. Got some nice blocking there at the end.
Yeah, great blocking, and
made a great play on the ball as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Coach Oliverio went for a big play, and the ball was kind of overthrown. Now, is it going to be roughing the passer?
It is. It looks like everyone is walking down this way. We have no signal.
Yeah.
If it is a roughing the passer penalty,
no, I think you're right, Leonard.
It will be 15 yards. Yeah, I saw Jordan Hickman took a shot There it is. Oh, it would be Evergreen ball.
Oh, okay.
So we'll negate the
okay.
touchdown.
Okay. So it wasn't roughing the passer. It was some type of an illegal block.
Yeah, illegal block in the back, it looks like.
Yeah, we saw the replay, but they just showed it.
So Evergreen's offense takes over here after the return is called back on the block in the back penalty. And it'll be a handoff to Hampton with 25 seconds left here. He'll pick up 3 yards. And we're going to have a replay here of that pick 6. So we see Hickman drop back. It's intercepted, trying to find the block in the back. There it is. Hickman is drilled, blindsided by an Evergreen player, and that is why he was down. I thought it was for roughing the passer, but see, he was blindsided. Everyone was so focused on the release. Good job by the official there to catch that. So it negates an Evergreen touchdown, keeps the score 14-10. So Evergreen is just taking a timeout with 18 seconds remaining. 2nd and 7 for them, and they have the ball on the 43-yard line. So just a reminder, at halftime we will be going to the studio for recap of the first half, as well as the O'Day Skyview game that finished before this one. As Evergreen comes back out, Peyton Monda in the pistol once again. They're going to motion Nettles. They're going to fake it to him. We've got 3 verts downfield. Yana's going to take a shot, and once again, Antoine Archer cannot come in with the catch. That one did not hit him in the hands, but it went right through them instead. 3rd and 7 here with 11 seconds left.
Did he throw that 50 yards in the air?
I believe
It was a long throw.
I believe it was 40 or 45. Threw it from the 43-yard line to the 15.
Yeah, but you know when he had to drop back.
Yeah, true. Yeah, for about the 35-yard line to the 15-yard line, so about 50 yards in the air. Impressive throw there from Peyton Monda, but it results in an incompletion.
A little screen.
There is a screen, you're right. They've got good blocking upfield. There goes Nettles. There's 2 seconds left. He's breaking some tackles. He has the edge. He's got to get into the end zone here. This will be the last play, but no. Taken down at the 10-yard line. So they'll pick up 40 yards there.
That was a great call.
And here is a replay of the screen. There goes Nettles up the middle, got blocking downfield, breaks 3, 4 tackles, 5 tackles, gets around to the outside, looks back, 6 tackles, 6 broken tackles on one play before finally being taken down. And that'll take us to halftime. Your score here at Kiggins Bowl, Hudson's Bay 14, Evergreen 10. We will go to Nick Bull in the studio for recap.
All right, thanks, Leonard. We are live here in the VPS TV studio at the Jim Parsley Center. Here's a quick look at what we're going to have in store for you coming up at this halftime. We're going to check in with the district's communications department. They're going to tell you about some cool events coming up, including one that can get you inside the classroom to see learning in action. Plus, one of the best parts of high school sports happens in the stands. We're going to interview the new band director at Hudson's Bay about his growing program. And the Eagles have moved up to the 3A level in the Greater St. Helens League. We went down to practice this week to ask them all about the big move, and of course, in just a moment, any moment now, we're going to have highlights from the truck. These highlights, of course, collected by students who are running the cameras at the stadium. This, the big kickoff return. Hudson's Bay with a little trickery. Marco Cadiz scampers 85 yards up the sideline, escapes the tackle, powers it through. If that kid doesn't have a nickname like Crazy Legs, he should, because his feet go so fast. Here's Evergreen scrambling. And that's what we call an interception right there. Carter Morse with the pick. Number 1, playing the quarterback just right. And then Marco Cadiz, I believe, again, powering it in. Yeah, look at those crazy legs. I want to get that started. That should be his nickname. Here at Evergreen, Dustin Nettles, I believe, on the run here. That score right there made it 14-10, which is our present score. And very exciting first half. Hudson's Bay representing itself really well at the 3A level, leading Evergreen 14-10. Well, moving on. Vancouver Public Schools is considering a bond measure for this February ballot coming up that would rebuild 8 or 9 schools and modernize the rest. The replacement schools that are all more than 50 years old are showing major signs of wear. The last time the district passed a bond was 15 years ago. Planning for what future schools might look like has already begun at community symposiums. The school board has to approve the bond measure this fall, and if they do, in February, it must pass with a 60% majority to go into effect. To learn more about the possible bond, head to the district's website, vansd.org. Time now to check in with the school district's communications department. Here joining us now is Tara Cox. Tara, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
So you guys have some events coming up, right? Why don't you tell us about those?
Sure. There's a couple of great events coming up here in October. The first is an event called Future You, and it's at Hudson's Bay High School from 5 to 8 p.m. on October 25th. It's the first ever district-wide graduation fair, and it's open to all VPS students and their families. We're actually welcoming students of all grade levels to come check it out. There's going to be more than 60 programs, 2- and 4-year schools, trade schools, and career organizations that will be there. And there's also information sessions about applying for scholarships and financial aid that happen every 30 minutes, starting at 6 o'clock. Also, there's Spanish, Russian, Chuukese, and ASL interpreters available at the event. So you can find out more information at vansd.org/futureyou.
Okay, and Tara, that's not the only event. Why don't you tell us about number 2?
Sure. The other event happening in October is on October 28th, and it's our first patron tour of the year. This tour is heading to King Elementary and then Lakeshore Elementary, and you'll get to go with Steve Webb, Superintendent Webb, and the staff to check out unique programs at each of the schools, as well as see kind of the inner workings of the schools in action, because they're during the school days when the tours are happening. The tour is free, and it starts at 8:30 a.m. at the Bates Center. You'll need to RSVP by calling 360-313-4720. Bus transportation is available and provided from the Bates to each school and then back again.
Okay, so Tara, my favorite part of these patron tours is actually the food, and that is produced by students at Fort Vancouver High School. Why don't you tell us about that, because, like I said, it's my favorite part.
Yeah, so you've had the lunch there.
I have had the lunch there. They always
Yeah.
do a great job. Dave Finney out there cracks the whip on those kids, and they're pretty good cooks.
Yeah, there's a great gourmet lunch that is served after the tour. It costs $4, and the food's prepared, like you said, by the culinary students at Fort Vancouver High School. There's also musical entertainment from students across the district that is going on while you eat, so it's kind of a nice atmosphere, and it's just kind of fun to see the kids showcasing what they're doing in school and their talents.
All right, well, that's awesome. Thanks for coming in, Tara. I really appreciate it, and we'll check in with you next time.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, we'll be right back after a short break.
VPS Game Time provides students with an experience unlike any other. If you like sports or technology, or just want to try something new, VPS Game Time lets kids support their schools in a new way. With professional broadcasting equipment, you can work behind the scenes to produce a live sports broadcast. There's a lot of action inside, but there's just as much out here. Whether that be creating the digital score bug you see on screen, running instant replays, getting the perfect shot, or even directing the broadcast. You can be a part of the team and help bring these broadcasts to life. If you're interested in helping out, talk to Nick Voll at nick.voll@vansd.org. Come join VPS Game Time.
One of the best parts of any high school sporting event is not what's happening on the field, it's what's happening in the stands, and by that I mean the band. And here to talk to us now about Hudson's Bay's band is its new director, Craig Bunch. Craig, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Nick.
So how did you come to be the band director at Hudson's Bay? You were new this year.
Yeah, that's right. So Mr. Meskel, the former band director, and I are friends from way back. We served together in the Army Band here in Vancouver. And when I heard that he was moving to Dean of Students, knowing that the program's he's been doing a great job there, I've decided to apply for the position and was lucky enough to get it.
All right, so that's pretty cool. So you knew Mr. Meskel before you know him now, he's still at the school. What kind of continuity is there as far as the students go with keeping kind of a familiar vibe to the program?
Yeah, no, it's very delicate because we want to make sure that the transition is nice and smooth. So him and I have talked about it and kind of developed some ideas of going forward and trying to make this transition smoothly for them so that the students benefit from having me, but also having him there still.
How much fun is it for you to be at these games on football nights and volleyball Tuesdays and things like that? I would imagine it's one of the more fun parts of your job.
Yeah, absolutely. The energy of a game and just the excitement, and students love playing pep band tunes. It's fun, it's a lot of energy, and they really get into it. And last week when we performed at the football game, I just seeing the energy and how excited the kids got, not just playing, but also just watching the game, seeing their fellow students playing the game and cheering them on. It's really an exciting experience.
So at the game, what are the songs that you and your students really love to play? Is Louie Louie still the standard, or is it Seven Nation Army now, or what is it?
You know, Louie Louie is still the same, and even though it's an older song, kids really love it and get into it. So they also are enjoying songs like Land of a Thousand Dances, which is an older song too. But we're gonna start introducing other songs such as Firework by Katy Perry and another song. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of other cool songs.
So you're introducing new elements to kind of keep the kids engaged with the music that they love, even if they don't necessarily love their parents' music.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a huge thing about music education is that we can introduce songs from yesterday that are still relevant today, but also getting those songs that they're hearing on the radios into the classroom is important. They can build that relationship with those songs, just like their parents did to those songs back then that are still a standard.
Okay, and that kind of leads me to my next question, which is, the value of arts education. You're in it every day. Even if kids aren't going to go pro as a trumpeter or whatever, why is it important for kids to be exposed to the arts like this?
Yeah, it's a great question. Students who are involved in the performing arts, like band and orchestra, research has stated that students who perform or play an instrument perform better on test scores, the SATs. They've done these tests, and band and orchestra students get higher grades and higher scores, which is a combination of using an instrument between the right brain and the left brain, and playing an instrument really builds those neurons and builds those pathways.
So is that your favorite part of teaching, seeing kids develop and grow, or what would you say your favorite part of teaching is?
Yeah, I love teaching from beginners to advanced students, and just seeing them grow as musicians, but also enjoy the aspect of playing an instrument, learning something brand new, learning a new language. Music is a language, and decoding all the notes on the page and being able to perform. So seeing the student grow, but also performances are a huge highlight. Seeing the excitement right before, the nervousness that students get, and then after the performance, wow, that's what we did, and it's a really rewarding experience.
Well, so speaking of performances, you guys perform obviously at more than just football games and volleyball games and so forth. You guys have some concerts coming up. When can folks from the community come in and see all the work your students are doing?
That's right. We have the football games and the basketball games, but we have a concert. Band and orchestra at Bay have a concert on October 27th at the Bay Commons. So that's will be our first concert of the year, and we're really excited about it.
All right. Well, Craig, I want to thank you for joining us today. I know you're a busy guy, and I hope you have a great first year at Hudson's Bay.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, you can see concerts by Bay's Band and Orchestra along with every other high school in the district right here on TV, etc. Comcast Channel 328. All of the broadcasts are produced by students in their respective schools' video production programs, which means it's not just the students on stage who are in the spotlight. The video production students are too. So to see a schedule, just head to www.esd112.org/TV, etc. Okay, let's turn back to football. Hudson's Bay High School was a 3A school for a long time. 2 years ago, it dropped down to 2A. Now, this year, it returns to the 3A level. We sent our intern, Cobalt Sjogren, down to practice to ask about how the move is treating the team.
We like challenges. We like to be the underdog.
Hudson's Bay is starting their first football season as a 3A team, having recently been reclassified from 2A due to an increase in size.
2A, 3A, it's the same rules. You know, it's just a different group of teams that we're playing, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity. We're excited to be part of this new league.
I think it's amazing. It's a great opportunity. We get a chance to really test our skills against those bigger schools.
Yeah, it's a big excitement. You know, higher competition, but they can still only put 11 guys out there, and so can we.
We don't prepare for opponents based upon what classification they are. We really just prepare the same way every week. It's just a matter of just getting ready and making sure we play our best football.
Hudson's Bay has already played 2 games this season.
So far, we're 1-1 after 2 weeks, so so far so good.
My season this far has been great. I mean, our season opener we lost because it was an offensive shootout. I think we executed well, and we just got to get better from there.
While some teams may make a big deal of a reclassification, Hudson's Bay carries on as normal. Both coach and players seem confident that skill, not size, is important.
Our goals really are just to improve, get better as we go, and improve our record from last year.
We need to set a new standards for Bay football.
So that's the #1 goal for us, is just continuous improvement and becoming better football players, better people.
This is Cobalt Sjogren with VPS Game Time.
All right, thanks, Cobalt. Great job. We have some Twitter and Facebook stuff going on for you tonight. This is a photo from the earlier game. Matthias Abebe, if I said that correctly, tweeted out this awesome drone footage from the stands at Kiggins Bowl. Roll storm, they said, and that was a squeaker. So Skyview losing that game 35-38 to O'Day from Seattle in a good game and a great turnout from all of those Storm fans. Here's another tweet. Columbia River picks up live ball on a backwards pass and returns it for a touchdown. River leads Washougal 28-14 after a 2-point conversion. That is a highlight from a report rather from the Columbia River Washougal game. Columbia River dropping down this year to 2A, so now Washougal is in their league. So that is a league game for Columbia River and Washougal. So we're trying to follow all of those scores tonight, and you should too. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule for VPS Game Time. We do have more broadcasts coming up for you this fall. On Tuesday, September 27th, it's big girls soccer doubleheader. First at 5 p.m., Hudson's Bay is hosting Washougal. Then at 7, Columbia River takes on Woodland. Make sure you tune in for that. And then on Friday, September 30th, more football. It's the crosstown rivalry that everybody looks forward to, Columbia River versus Skyview. You never know what's going to happen in that one. It's always an exciting game, and it kicks off at 7 p.m. All of these events can be seen in HD on Comcast Channel 328 and on youtube.com/VanSDTV, and we're attempting to do the old Facebook streaming. We're doing that successfully tonight, so hopefully we'll be able to continue that for you in the future as well. So really you can see our games wherever they are, which is pretty exciting. And so while the players are still warming up, we have a minute or two. We want to talk to you about what it is that you're watching tonight. It's VPS Game Time. So what is that? This program is an extracurricular activity opportunity for the district's video production students. And while you see me here on the screen, behind the camera and in the studio are students. Almost entirely a student crew. That means kids are running cameras, up to 5 of them per broadcast. They're directing, producing, running graphics, audio. They're even doing instant replay. There are adult supervisors, of course, but it's really a hands-on experience for students who are considering television, film, or video production as a career. The program has been going for about 15 years and was started by Andy and Joel Burhow at Fort Vancouver High School. The two brothers both went there. Andy taught video production there for years, and now he's a teacher at VSAA. Joel is an industry professional, and over the years, hundreds of kids have gotten real-world experience doing sports broadcasts, and several of them now work professionally in the field. If you know a student who might be interested, you can have them contact us or their school's video production teacher. We accept students from any Vancouver public school. We'll cover every school's sports programs, Fort, Bay, River, Skyview, and an even number of girls and boys events. So it's always a very fun time for us. We do have a little bit more time, so let's go ahead and look at our standings This is the new Greater St. Helens League 4A League, so there are some changes this year. Several teams dropping out. You can see this is before tonight's action. Battleground 2-0. They'll move to 3-0. Camas the same, moving up to 3-0. Skyview's dropped to 1-2. Very tough 4A Greater St. Helens League this year. No weak teams in that bunch. Let's move on to the 3A standings here. You can see a bigger 3A. Last year there were only 4 teams in the district. Now there are 6. So Hudson's Bay has moved up, Mountain View has moved down, and here we sit. Evergreen has moved down as well. And, well, we'll get to that in just a sec. But you can see 6 teams in the league this year. Kelso off to a 2-0 start. Kelso always the cream of the crop in the 3A Greater St. Helens League, although Hudson's Bay looks like this year they may give them a run for their money, and Mountain View, of course, always competitive as well. So that should be a fun conference to watch. Now, on to the 2A League standings. Hawkinson at 2-0. They are playing tonight. Craig Birnbach reported to us earlier that they're in trouble, so we'll see if they get upset or not. And Columbia River always power in the 3A, now down to the 2A level, and so they should be a team to watch as well, and they are up. So we are just about back to it. The third quarter is getting ready to start. The teams are lining up to play, so we're going to drop it back down to Leonard Berry and Willie Thompson. They've got the call. Guys, go ahead and take it away.
We're back here at Boggs Field at Kiggins Bowl for the second half of this 3A League matchup between the Hudson's Bay Eagles and the Evergreen Plainsmen. Hudson's Bay set to receive the kick here. They have Julio Vara and Marco Cadiz as the deep men. And Bill, what did you like there in that first quarter? Or first half, should I say?
Well, I think Hudson's Bay was a little bit fortunate in the sense that Evergreen had that pick 6 that wasn't a pick 6 because of a block in the back. They didn't capitalize on that and score. And then they set up a really nice screen. And the Evergreen was at Nettles that took it down all the way to the 10-yard line, and that was the end of the half. So Hudson's Bay avoided a possibility of, a couple scores there. And they're still ahead 14-10. So I'm sure the adjustments will be made, and we'll see what happens in the second half.
We will see what happens. Keelan Burris has the ball teed up. There's the whistle. We are ready to get this second half of football underway as we're going to blow it dead. All right, not quite sure what the flags are for, but we have flags on the field.
Somebody might have.
Oh, we're calling a false start on the kicking team. There it is.
Yeah, it might have been offsides or something.
Yeah,
because that was a nice.
Referee Ray Osmond signaled a false start. That was a nice attempt there at the onside. Very likely would have recovered it had the whistles not blown. And that kind of ruins the surprise attack there. So Evergreen now pushed back 5 yards, kicking off from the 35, where the NFL players kick off from. And we'll see. The decision is made by their head coach, Terry Hyde here.
There's quite a gap over there on the left side.
There's 2 returners on this near side close to us, but only one over on that far side. So let's see what Evergreen decides to do here as they do decide to kick it off. And it'll be Julio Vara on the return, who breaks the tackle there, but he's going to be swarmed by Plainsmen at the 25-yard line. And so Bay will start out with football at the 25-yard line to start the second half. And the onside kick attempt foiled by a false start, and another way that Evergreen has been kind of penalized in this game.
Yeah, kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit there with the offside and then the block, and when that number 17 took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Yes, you're referring to number 17, Sheevan Rhodes, who did have pick six negated by blocking the back on Bay's quarterback Jordan Hickman. And we got some motion here to gonna run power here with Cadiz. But he's gonna be bottled up, and already very good adjustment by the Evergreen lineman so far on the first play. Only 1 yard there.
Yeah, they sniffed that out real well.
And that was something they were not doing in the first half, so we'll see if they can continue to do this run defense here that was absent in the first half. So 2nd and 9, and the Eagles come out in an I formation. 2 wide left with the tight end on the right. And they run counter, however, Ray Solana, who we talked about earlier, 407 pounds in there.
Yeah, he just kind of stayed right in the hole there, and
good job there. Good cutback.
Yeah, it was
defense.
a good cutback. There was a guy in there, so.
It was a nicely designed counter play. However, Solano and that big body filled out a hole quite nicely. And so 2 runs, only 4 yards for the Eagles starting off here, and they'll come out in the shotgun on 3rd and 6. Evergreen showing blitz. And completion there to number 12, Miles Artis.
That was a nice pass by number 2.
It was a nice
He
pass.
had his feet set and
Jordan
delivered
Hickman,
the ball.
Jordan Hickman delivers a nice pass to Artis, and that goes for 11 yards. We'll have a replay right here. We'll see it. There's Hickman. A quick drop. Nice tight spiral on that. And Artis fights his way forward. Make it an 11-yard gain. First down for the Eagles. And they're once again going to line up in the shotgun. Cottis off to the left of Hickman. Off his left shoulder there. And it's going to be a QB sprint out to the left side over here. And Hickman, once again, bottled up. The 1 yard gain gets out to the 40-yard line. And this Evergreen defense now swarming to the ball.
Yeah, the Evergreen defense, flew to the ball. Their flow was it was good.
Looking a lot more inspired here in this second half. Granted, we are only 3 minutes in. However,
yeah, maybe the coaches had a talking. They had to go over some things, get things cleared up.
and sometimes that's all it takes. Just one slight adjustment can really set a team in motion. Hickman drops back, and he's going to be pressured from all sides. And we're going to get a sack. Number 7, Dylan Goodpaster, the linebacker, comes in for the sack. He'll get half a sack there, credit for half a sack. Connor Ball helping on that D-line. Here's a replay. We got 78, 7, and 51 all in there on that sack.
Yeah, they came through.
They definitely busted through the line. Evergreen defensive line looking very good early here in the second half, third quarter. Brings up 3rd and 16 for the Eagles, and they'll come out in the shotgun. Goodpaster is going to blitz. And he's wide open down the middle of the field is number 7, Polina Gasper. And that will be an 18-yard completion and good for an Eagles first down. Here comes the replay.
Once again, Jordan sets his feet, moves forward and throws a nice ball. Nice catch. That was really a nice catch.
Nice catch. Way to lead him upfield. Also, let's give some credit to the O-line. Picked up the blitzers.
Yeah, they were coming. The O-line block kept them out. Yeah, you're right there, Leonard.
So Kaditz comes out of the game, replaced by number 12, Miles Artis. So we have number 5 in the backfield, Toa Kamatule, the linebacker or fullback, running back, kind of everything for this Bay team. And he's going to be the lead blocker here on the designed run for Hickman. Hickman carries the ball up to the 37-yard line of the Plainsmen, and that'll be another Eagles first down. Moving the ball quite well here on this first drive.
Yeah, they brought in number 5, and he led him through, and he did a real nice job.
And we'll see here on this replay. The O-line opens up a nice hole. Number 5, Toa picks up a big block on number 51 for the Plainsman, Connor Ball. Gets Hickman just that bit of space that he needs to get those extra yards. So it'll be first down on the 37-yard line. They'll go run to Toa, and he puts it on the ground, and it's recovered by the Plainsman. We'll wait for the signal, but yes, it is. It is recovered by the Plainsman, and the Bay drive affected by the turnovers. We'll get a replay here. We'll show you just what happened. Number 5, Toa, hit in the backfield, coughs it up. The ball squirts out to number 17. That man again, Shaven Rhodes, an interception and a fumble recovery already here in this game.
Yeah, Evergreen had a great defense there. They flew to the ball.
And they were flying to the ball early on in that possession. Stopped it a little bit, but right there, they get the ball back. And so it will be Peyton Monda in the pistol once more for Evergreen. He is going to hand it off. Dustin Nettles on the carry there. He'll pick up 5 yards.
Yeah, about a 5-yard gain.
A nice run there by the Plainsmen. And Nettles has been really the best running back so far for the Plainsmen. Whether it be on sweeps, whether it be on design carries. Quite good at carrying the ball so far. And the one screen pass at the end of the half, like you mentioned earlier.
There's the bubble again. That might be a backward lateral. He called it forward though.
There was a scramble for the ball, but no matter whether it was a fumble or an incomplete pass, it's going to be the same. 3rd and 4, no yards gained, no yards lost. So 3rd and 4 for the Plainsmen, trailing here in this game, 14-10. With 6:30 left on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
This is a big play for both teams now.
Yes, it is. As Monda's going to drop
There's
back.
the screen.
There is the screen. There's a flag that comes down. Nettles taken down short of the marker. So we'll have to see what that penalty is. Maybe holding on the offense. But another question is, 4th and 1 coming up. It is going to be on the offense. So do you accept or decline this penalty here if you're the Eagles?
Well, that's tough. If they decline it, they only have about 2 yards for a first down. If they take it, it's a long ways. It depends where the holding was. It's 10 yards where the hold took place.
It looks like it took place about
the 38.
Right at the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so they're going to go all the way back to about, what, the 28?
Yeah, which would make this a 3rd and 20 rather than a decline and have a 4th and 2.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's
going to accept it.
Now they just, they get the extra down all right, but then the defense has to come up, and then, of course, Evergreen has to come up with it looks like about a
20-yard conversion.
Yeah, 20-yard conversion there.
But with Dustin Nettles, who knows? He's been breaking off some big gains, but they have Hampton in the backfield here, and they're going to run another screen.
They're going to run the screen again.
It's to Nettles, and they lined him up in that slot position, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, and Bay did a real nice job sniffing that out.
Bay did, and Bay has done a nice job on defense. We'll have a replay here to show you. You see Hampton there in the backfield, number 20, but Nettles comes there, runs a little zig in rather than the zig out. Try to set up the screen. Number 13, Dominic Freeman, all over that. Read that play like a book.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Did a nice job.
So
outside linebacker did a real nice job on that.
Evergreen punt unit will come back out, and we'll see. Last time they tried for the fake, didn't get it. This time they will get the punt off, and it's going to go end over end down to the 29-yard line. So a good punt there.
Yeah, got a good roll.
On 4th down, 50 yards.
Yeah, that was a nice roll.
And so
hit short, and he was rolled for Evergreen High School.
Yeah, nice bounce there for Evergreen. And so Bay will come back out onto the field following that fumble. And probably not going to see much of Toa Kamatule running the ball anymore after that fumble.
Well, I don't know. Well, he's going back in the game there.
Oh, you're right, he is. Too late. He turns around. They do have Marco Cades, who is a pretty solid running back in the backfield.
Yeah.
So on 1st and 10, they line up in the shotgun. Evergreen comes with the blitz. Hickman is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. You're going to mark him for a gain of 1 yard. So this Evergreen defense stifling the run here early on in the second half.
Yeah, they're starting to gap reduce down a little bit and, bring some people on Evergreen is.
Running that 4-3, having each down lineman play the one gap technique.
Well, that, and they're just, the ends, the outside backers there are kind of coming.
Yeah, the outside
get kind of a
a
six-man pressure there. Now it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man pressure.
Especially when you don't have to be that afraid of the
Yeah.
quarterback throwing. As they'll come up in the shotgun, run a counter, and Cades will break a tackle
Yeah.
and spin off. But once again, swallowed up for a loss of a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 10, and this Eagles offense not dealing with the Evergreen adjustments so well right now. As the clock ticks down under 4 minutes and 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Great game here between Hudson's Bay and Evergreen. Very close. This is a league game. Whoever wins this will be 1-0 in the league, which is always nice to start off.
You bet, yeah.
Bay moving up from 2A. Evergreen coming down from 4A. And Hickman in the backfield. It looks like they were trying to set up a screen and couldn't go. Hickman's got a lot of room to run. Hickman's going to take it. Hickman picks
he got it
up. 21 yards. Down to the 50-yard line. So the pocket collapses and Hickman finds a way with his feet. Great play there by the Eagles quarterback.
Yeah, and he put his shoulder down. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks do that, but he put his shoulder down and he got a little bit extra yardage.
Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks not willing to take the hits anymore. A lot of these Southwestern Washington quarterbacks, however, are pretty strong.
Yeah, they are.
Brody Barnum from Skyview.
Oh, yeah. Monda runs
from
well.
Evergreen.
Yeah.
Hickman. We have a lot of
Yeah.
running back quarterbacks here in Southwest Washington in this GSHL league. As Hickman lines up under center here, and he'll hand it off. There is Toa back out on the field after the fumble, and he gets 7 yards. We're going to have a replay here. And there goes Toa right up the middle. Good blocking by
Yeah,
the
that
Hudson's
was
Bay
good
linebacker.
blocking. They got some push there.
Finally got some push.
Yeah,
this
they got
quarter.
some push coming up.
So 3 minutes here. We got trips to the left, a tight end on the right, a lone back in the backfield. I believe it is Toa. And they're going to give it to him. He stays on his feet. Impressive. Pushing people out of the way. Pushing the pile. And that is going to be a 15-yard carry for Akitoa Kamatule.
That was a nice run because there were a lot of guys. He took a lot of guys with him.
He did. So you see the handoff there. Jumps over, keeps his hand on the ground. Carries number 13, Deolanta Hill, with him. Deolanta Hill, 5'9", 158 pounds. Akitoa Kamatue, 5'9", 182 pounds. So, a bit of a size difference there as he carries him downfield. And there is Cades, who gets the handoff and finds a hole. And he'll get 6 yards.
Yeah, nice run there.
And so that Evergreen
Yeah.
defense we were talking about has suddenly gone by the wayside here.
Well, they haven't stunned anyone in there either. I'm a little surprised, and they're knocking them off the ball right now.
May need some fresh substitutions there on that D-line, try to get a little bit of...
Well, they need some pressure. There's no question about it because, Hudson's Bay's moving the ball well. And they're coming out in that power I formation.
You're right, there is that power I. Toa at the fullback, Cades at the running back. Evergreen is going to show blitz. They do bring blitz.
Yeah.
Cades still fighting his way. Picks up 3 yards on the first down. Unbelievable there.
Right, yeah.
And that is why the Hudson's Bay Eagles are going to ride his shoulders here this season. As you see on the replay, hit right at the line of scrimmage, carries 2 guys along with the help of his lineman for 3 yards. He'll be spotted down at the 11-yard line. So 10 yards gets the Hudson's Bay Eagles a first down. 11 yards gets them a touchdown here inside the red zone. And Hickman's going to look to throw. He throws the fade, but him and Carter Morse not on the same page there. Nearly intercepted. There's a bit of shoving going on, but cornerback on that side does make the play.
Yeah,
Number
the
2.
corner stayed right with the split end.
Yeah, Leland Clark, the senior defensive back, with some nice coverage there, sniffing out that route. So the Eagles come out, stacked to the right side, tight end on the right side, 2 wide receivers, fullback and a running back. Evergreen is showing that blitz again.
They're coming.
And they come, and Cotitz is not phased. 6 yards.
Yeah, the Evergreen kid took the A-gap, and nose tackle went around on the other side. And Cotitz just, found a little error in there. And ran right through it.
There we go. And the clock ticks under 1 minute. We got a replay here. Evergreen blitzes off both edges, however, not getting the pressure up the middle, which is where the run is going.
Yeah, well, they had the one linebacker, and he went to kind of on the other side.
Yeah, he shot the wrong gap there.
Well, Cotitz found the right gap.
The question is, do you want to stunt those outside linebackers into an inside gap on that blitz instead?
I don't know. That's a good question, Leonard.
Because
right now it's 3rd and 4?
Yeah, 3rd and 4 for a first down, 3rd and 5 for a touchdown.
Yeah.
As we're going to have Hudson's Bay timeout. But as we're talking about there, Bay running the power in the ISO with the fullback up the middle, and Evergreen blitzing on the outside, trying to get around and get in the backfield first. But you would think you would just want to clog up the holes through the middle instead, right?
Well, yeah, and right now, it's I'm kind of surprised Evergreen, hasn't gone to a goal line situation where they've, put everybody in a gap and just brought people, because it's almost like, what are they on, the 4-yard line?
Yeah, 4-yard line.
Yeah,
right now is where the ball spotted.
A lot of high schools will just go goal line and have a goal line defense where they'll bring, pressure 6 guys and, have the linebackers up close and, kind of sell out.
Yeah, of course. But Evergreen sticking with this 4 DB set. Here we go. Now they go to a more traditional goal line. They still do have the one lone corner. They have number 17, Siobhan Rhodes, kind of back there as a safety. But fully expecting a run here as the Eagles stack their backfield. 2 fullbacks and Cotitz. Cotitz stays on his feet, and a touchdown! Unbelievable! Marco Cotitz hit 5 yards behind the line, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, and takes it into the end zone for a Hudson's Bay touchdown. His 3rd of the game, 2nd rushing. We'll take you to the replay here. Bill, what did you see here?
Well, the same thing you saw, Leonard. I mean, Evergreen did everything right. They blew, they came through. They had every gap covered. They tackled 23 in the backfield there, and they didn't wrap up, and he broke the tackles, maybe even 2 tackles, and skated into the end zone. A hard running.
Unbelievable play there as the extra point goes up, and it is good. The Hudson's Bay Eagles extend their lead 21-10 over the Evergreen Plainsmen with 16 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And let's talk a little bit more about that run. Cotitz.
Yeah, great run. And I'm sure the Evergreen coaches are just shaking their head and saying, oh my God, we had him in the backfield, but we didn't wrap him, and he didn't go down, and he stayed on his feet, and he waltzed into the end zone.
Unbelievable. Breaks a tackle from Ball, the defensive end, puts his hand down on the ground, stays up, shrugs off another one, spins away from another, jukes another tackler, and takes it into the end zone. So the Hudson's Bay Eagles coming out strong in their first league game back in the 3A division after being in 2A last year. And Evergreen, who was a 4A team last year, not looking nearly as good. in the 3A ranks. So it will be Carter Morse to kick the ball away. And once again, the third time this evening, the kickoff goes out of bounds. And the Plainsmen take over at the 35-yard line.
Well, that's not the worst thing in the world either. I mean, they still have to go 65 yards for a touchdown, so Evergreen's got to get it going. Here we're only going to have another quarter left after 16 seconds.
It's true. Evergreen only down by 11.
Oh, Evergreen's going to choose to make him kick it over again. Yeah, you can do that in high school football.
Seems like an interesting...
Yeah, that is interesting.
Oh, they're going to move their... I see they elect for the...
Yeah, now Evergreen's going to have to kick from the 35 instead of kicking off from the 40. I mean, Hudson's Bay, I'm sorry, is going to kick from the 35 instead of kicking off from the 40.
And Evergreen's also moved their return men up 10
yards.
yards.
Yeah, and they've seen the way Hudson's Bay's been kicking off. So, if that young man, one of the Evergreen's 3 deep there, gets the ball on the 20, they're liable to get up there a pretty good return. They could get a pretty good return out of this.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to get a spark here with the re-kick as they squib it a little bit. Kind of a dangerous play there, but this is what Evergreen wanted. They want to get a kick return, maybe put some life into that offense.
Yeah.
A nice block there by Trey Richards, and he's going to be tackled at the 35-yard line, which is the exact same spot.
Yeah,
they would have got the ball.
Yeah, it is.
And they would have saved 4 seconds. But
yeah,
now, 12 seconds left in the third quarter, and Evergreen has the ball on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, the Bay kid did a real nice job keeping contain out there, because when he started reverses field, a lot of high school kids will come down, and they'll swarm to the ball and they're not, and they stayed right. That one person stayed in his lane.
Yes, always taught to stay in your lane. Kickoff coverage, never to break your lane. Very important when it comes to returns like that. So Mondo will be out of the pistol and hand off to Nettles. And Nettles will bounce outside. Nettles will break a tackle.
That's a great run by Nettles there, number 9.
Nettles has...
He went in there and was hit, and, broke it outside.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. So, at the end of the third quarter, the score, the Hudson's Bay Eagles 21, the Evergreen's Plainsmen 10. We'll go to Nick Voll in the studio for a recap of the third quarter.
Hey, thanks, guys. Hey, we got to start calling Marco Cadiz crazy legs. Am I right? 3 touchdowns for Cadiz. What a great night. Hudson's Bay looking to hold on. We are following social media tonight. Let's take a quick look at what you guys are saying about the action going on out there tonight. This is us. We said this. Marco Cadiz is straight fired. Go Eagles. I feel like I'm too old to use emojis, but I did. All right, let's look at the next one. Val Seeley, the principal of Hudson's Bay, says, halftime spirit boost, great turnout to support the team, starting second half in the league. Go Eagles. Look at all those students out there. Hudson's Bay letting the 3A Greater St. Helens League know it's here to play. So great job for them so far in this game. And I think we have one more. And that's a final. Columbia River knocks off Washougal. Thanks to the Columbian for providing all of these updates for us. Look at that. Columbia River goes to 1-0 in its debut at the 2A level. So a lot of good stuff going on tonight we're going to keep track of. And we will have more for you after the fourth quarter. So make sure you stay tuned for that. In the meantime, let's go back out to Leonard and Willie who have the call. Guys?
Picking up the first down. And we're back here at Kiggins Bowl.
Yeah, that was a nice throw. Nice catch. And the corner just kind of, missed the tackle. So that happens.
Yep, Javon Hampton, quite elusive out of the backfield.
Yeah, he is. He made a couple nice moves there and danced around.
So Evergreen desperately in need of a touchdown here to bring this game back a little bit closer. Down 11 points with 11:50. Just started the fourth quarter here. They line up in the pistol and hand it to Hampton. Bounces off the tackler. Bounces off 3 tacklers. He's got the sideline. Caught it brings him down at the 15. And a nice run there. Javon Hampton, a pickup of 20 yards. Breaking a tackle at the 30. We'll take a look at the replay right here, so we'll know exactly how many tackles he did break. Goes right up the middle, breaks a tackle off the D lineman, breaks a tackle from 13, breaks a tackle from number 11. And if it isn't for Marco Kottitz, he's probably got himself a touchdown.
Great run. That was really a nice run by the Evergreen kid.
And it's always nice to see high school kids get downfield rather than try to move.
Yeah, yeah.
When they run north and south rather than west and east.
Yeah, he went north and south. And he broke a couple nice tackles, too. I mean, he made just a nice run.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 15-yard line. Evergreen knocking on the door here in the 4th quarter. And they will hand it off to...
He's going to come out the back door here.
Here comes Nettles around the corner. Nettles, does he get it in? He gets it in. He reverses field, breaks a tackle, and takes it in from 15 yards out. And Evergreen gets the touchdown they need. Only taking 48 seconds into the 4th quarter. And once again, Dustin Nettles picks up his 2nd touchdown on the day. This time, a 15-yard rush. I believe we will have a replay of this rushing touchdown here for you in a moment.
Yeah, when you have the replay, you're going to see that on the replay, you're going to see, I think, that the outside linebacker on a weak side, didn't check counter. They didn't have to check counter, and Nettles just broke it.
And so a good decision here. Evergreen going to go for 2. This will make it a field goal game, but Monda overthrows his intended receiver. And here we'll go to the replay. Dustin Nettles.
So you stop there. Now he comes out back door, and there's no outside linebacker for the check counter.
No outside linebacker and no corner. The corner vacated as well, crashing hard on that run to the right side. So with the failed 2-point conversion, that makes this game 21-16. The Eagles still holding on to their 5-point lead. And man, what a game this has been, Bill.
Yeah, this has been a great game. No question about it. The Skyview game was a great game. This is a great game.
For those of you who didn't catch it and just tuned in, the Skyview game, 35-32. O'Day wins. Skyview down 17-35 with 3 minutes left to play. Comeback, touchdown, onside kick recovery, touchdown. But they could not recover the last onside kick. O'Day kneels and runs the clock out. And this game so far, we have Evergreen opening the scoring with a Keelan Burris 25-yard field goal. With on the very next play, Marco Kottitz takes an 85-yard kick return back to the house to give the Eagles the lead 7-3. Then Kottitz with a 10-yard touchdown rush after an Evergreen interception makes it 14-3. Dustin Nettles with a touchdown rush makes it 10-14. Kottitz again with a touchdown run, 21-10. And then Dustin Nettles right there with a 15-yard rush with the failed 2-point conversion. So the score stands at 16-21. Now, a lot of time left to be played here in this 4th quarter. Now Evergreen did try to open this half up with an onside kick. We'll see if they try to do.
Yeah, they did. They did. That's
again.
A good point.
Some coaches like to be aggressive. You have faith in your defense. You never know. And he will boot it downfield. And it is going to go out of bounds. So the Eagles.
Now the Eagles can take it at the 35 if they want it.
I believe that is what they will do. The Eagles want to run as much time off this clock as possible. Probably try to punch it in again. They looked very good on their last drive. They got stopped a little bit at the goal line, but Marco Kottitz decided that he was going to put the team on his back.
Yeah, that was an outstanding run. And then Evergreen, fought back. They came right back and scored.
Yes, they did, and this has been a very back-and-forth game. While the lead has not changed that much, the momentum certainly has.
Yeah.
So the ball will be spotted at the 35. Evergreen fans
are getting pretty excited.
Yeah, they are. They realize their team is definitely not out of this game. They're all the way on the other side of the field, but we can hear them up here in the booth.
Yeah, they're making a lot of noise.
Small turnout on their fans, but making a lot of noise. One might even think you're at CenturyLink Field right now as they toss it to Cottis around the outside. And he will get a yard at the most. So the toss snuffed out there by Evergreen. Evergreen going to need some solid run defense here on this possession if they want to get back into the game.
Yeah, they are, and they've got more people, kind of stacked in there not stacked in there, but up on the line of scrimmage. You can see the backers out there to take all the wide stuff away.
Yeah, well, it makes it very easy when the Eagles in that such a tight set as Toa Kamatule fights forward for 2 yards, and that was the hardest 2 yards he's ever gotten. He was hitting the backfield and just pushed and pushed to get it out. So that makes it 3rd and 7 here for the Eagles.
Yeah, this is a big down for Hudson's Bay, big down for Evergreen.
Yep. One team desperately needs a stop. One team needs a conversion. The Eagles do have the fact that their defense has played quite well tonight, though, if they do not convert on this 3rd down. They'll come out in the shotgun. Hickman and Kottitz. And it's going to be a designed run, but Hickman is only going to get 3 yards. And this is where Hudson's Bay has to make a decision. Do you punt it, 4th and 3 here, or do you go for it? What would you do, Bill?
Well, I'd probably punt it and see what my defense could do.
That looks like what they're going to do as well. So look at you. You could still be down there on the sidelines coaching.
Pardon?
You could still be down there on the sidelines coaching.
No way.
So Julio Vara.
Now, I think somebody jumped offside, or maybe I just...
Oh, we do have a flag.
Yeah.
And it was a nice punt, but...
I don't know I think it was the defensive end from Evergreen, but I'm not positive.
Well, if it was, that is an automatic 1st down. If it's offsides on Evergreen, it is a neutral zone infraction on Evergreen. Gives the Eagles a 1st down on 4th and 4. That's a mental mistake right there, absolutely. No count, no anything. And the D lineman not ball watching there once again.
Well, that's a tremendous break right now for Hudson's Bay.
Absolutely, and that'll allow them to run more time off this clock. Yeah. They've already taken 2 minutes since they got the ball just to run 3 plays. So every 1st down takes more and more time away from Evergreen in their comeback attempt as they come out in the I form here with Hickman handing to Cottis. Cottis has a little bit of a hole, but not much. And he's going to get 3 yards on that carry. Bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, if he could just, squeeze through there, because Evergreen is really kind of, bringing the people up close to the line of scrimmage.
Yes, they are. Evergreen really, really expecting the run. And when you come out in I form and continuously run the ball, though, they don't have much else to expect. They show blitz up the middle. Oh, and a fumble! He forces a fumble. Number 7, Dylan Godpaster blitzes through the A gap, forces a fumble, and an Evergreen ball. So Evergreen dials up the pressure here on the replay. You see Goodpaster come right there through the A gap, hits the quarterback before he can even hand it off. And Bill, that's when you get too predictable there. That's exactly what can happen.
Well, the Evergreen kid just didn't block down, and Evergreen was coming. They're stunting like crazy.
Yeah, well, that's one of those times where a defensive play can really rejuvenize your offense.
This is it now. Evergreen's got the momentum right now.
8:33 to go. Hudson's Bay shows blitz. The blitz comes. The pass is overthrown.
Good defense. That was really good defense.
That was really good defense. Jonathan Sparing was the intended receiver. Julio Vara on the coverage. Nadil Hodzik looking for a flag there, but I don't believe there was one. That was
No, they
very good
both went
coverage.
up, you know.
We'll get a replay.
You can see number 3 there, and 15's they're both going for the football.
Yep, there was no contact there. It didn't hinder his ability to catch the ball. Great defensive play there. A little bit out of position, but he made the play.
No.
So
They might want to watch out. I don't know, is that number 9 in the backfield? No, it's number 20. Oh, they're
20,
throwing
but
the ball.
And Monda eluding pressure in the backfield and runs into the Hudson's Bay defenders, and he loses the ball.
Yeah, he lost the ball on that.
Lost the ball, recovered very, very smartly by Cole Heyer, the senior offensive lineman. So it'll be a gain of nothing. And Monda almost gives the ball right back. Look at this, eluding pressure in the pocket here on this replay. But runs right into the Bay defense, and
That was a good tackle by number 72.
number
72 is the guy that caused that. Gave him a good
Jared
whap
Bacon,
there.
the DN, the senior DN, 230 pounds, 6 feet tall. So 3rd and 10, Monda in the shotgun, and Bay is blitzing
There's
again.
the quick screen here.
And there's Nettles again, using that
Uh-oh,
speed to get
there
to
he
the
goes.
outside. And Bay unable to contain Darren Nettles as Dustin Nettles, as he picks up 11 and a first down for the Plainsmen. And he's got to be well over 200 all-purpose yards today.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they put number 9 out there on the wing. Out there at split end for a purpose.
Here we go, we'll get a replay. You see him catch that bubble screen, make a man freeze, and just turn on the burners.
No, he's
to go
got good
around.
speed. He gets outside there, and he's got good speed.
He does have good speed, and the Plainsmen have been using him, sticking with this pistol formation. 2 men in the slot, 1 behind, and they do.
Now they give it to number 20.
Number 20, Javon Hampton again on the carry. He'll get 3 yards, and while he is their number 1 running back, definitely has not been the best running back tonight.
Close.
Nettles.
Number 9 and 23 for
Nettles
both those
and
guys.
Nettles and Hampton splitting carries, but Nettles, it seems, has made the more of his opportunities tonight.
No, I was thinking, the both, like the Hudson's Bay who's 23.
Oh, yes.
And
Nettles.
Nettles number 9 are the kind of the 2 stalwarts.
Nettles and Cottis both playing very, very well tonight.
Now, who's down here? Leonard, can you see?
We got number 15, but it's going to
Oh,
be a
there-
handoff to Nettles
Yeah.
on 2nd down, and he's going to fight for 3-4 yards. They'll give him 4, and then they'll say he went out of bounds. 6:34 left in the 4th quarter. And it's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Plainsmen, who trail by 5 points here to the Eagles in this first 3A game of the year, 3A league game of the year. And man, what a way to start 3A league play. 2 very good games tonight, and this one is getting into the dying embers as Evergreen goes shotgun with Monda. There is gonna be a flag on the play. Number 5, Jonathan Sparing, was the man in motion. We'll get a replay here. Jonathan Sparing in motion. Not sure. So they're gonna. I'm not entirely sure. The penalty, didn't really see what Ray Osmond, head referee here tonight, announced. But it looks like it was enough for the Plainsmen first down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they only had a couple to go.
So they'll go pistol again. Monda and Nettles in the back. Hudson's Bay showing blitz. And Nettles bounces to the outside, has a hole wrapped up. Nice tackle there by number 12.
Yeah, Evergreen's running the football pretty well right now.
Yes, they are. Miles Artis there on the tackle, had a couple nice plays on offense, plays both ways, outside
Yeah.
linebacker and receiver. He's made
Yeah,
a couple
he's
of
good
nice
player.
catches.
Yeah, he's a good player.
And this Bay
So-
team is just a solid all-around team. They get a lot of production from each position, and you can't really ask for much more than that. Evergreen in the pistol. Nettles tries to take it up the middle, and he will be stopped. He will get 2 yards on the forward progress. Then he was thrown backwards. So 3rd and 1. Clock ticks under 5:40 here. 4th quarter, Boggs Field at Kiggins Bowl, and we have a great game here between Hudson's Bay and Evergreen. So they'll take off Siobhan Rhodes and bring on Tristan Fitch, the quarterback DB. So, 2 quarterbacks on the field here for Evergreen right now could provide for some interesting trickery. Seen the Eagles pull off a couple trick plays tonight.
Yeah,
But they're going to put him in at fullback instead. And they're going to hand it to Nettles, who breaks a couple tackles and is marked down at the 8-yard line, I want to say. It's very close to this first down marker.
Yeah, is that a first down? I can't see.
We up here in the booth do not have the angle. It looks close, and they're going to give it to him. First down. We'll take a look at the replay here of point after attempt from a while ago. Not the right replay we're looking for, but first and goal for the Plainsmen on the 8-yard line. So they have 4:48 left on the clock, down by 5, touchdown to take the lead. And they have Nettles in the backfield, and they will give it to him, and he goes up the middle. And he'll get 4 yards. So taking him down to the 4-yard line. Gets inside the 5 here. The clock continues to roll. Evergreen kind of running out the clock here. Don't want to give Bay too much time left.
Right, yeah, they're running the ball down there. And, I don't know if they're going to go to a goal line or not.
There's
Just,
absolutely
sell
4.
out. I don't know. Really, I can't really see down there if they've gone into the gap situation.
No, they're still going with the 4-3, it looks like. With
Yeah,
the
they haven't gone goal line.
And it's going to cost them a touchdown.
Yeah.
As Javon Hampton scores a touchdown for the Evergreen Plainsmen. And the Evergreen fans, you can hear them.
Getting excited.
Yes, they are. So in the 4th quarter now, 2 touchdowns for Evergreen as we'll take a look at the replay. Bill. Nice run there, just getting behind his big old lineman.
Yeah, that was a nice run by number 20.
Number 20, Javon Hampton, with the touchdown. And Evergreen going to go for 2, try to make this a field goal game. One of the biggest plays of the night right now.
Yeah, they want to go for 2 here.
Wanda and Hampton in the backfield, and they're going to throw a
There's the
screen to
screen.
Nettles.
Yeah.
And he gets into the end zone. Flag, late, very late flag. Maybe unsportsmanlike conduct.
If that is an unsportsmanlike conduct, they would have to kick off from the 25.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not.
Nettles, I don't know if we have a replay or not, but we do have a replay. Here we go. So they run the screen to Nettles. He breaks a tackle and then showboats his way into the end zone. Not entirely sure if that's worthy of unsportsmanlike conduct. He just walked into the end zone, but this is high school football. You don't get away with nearly as much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's deserving, but I don't know if he said something. Who knows? I think they did get the penalty, though.
So the referee's talking it over. Here comes Roy Osmond to give us the final decision. They're still talking it over. I mean, nothing really too unsportsmanlike. He breaks a tackle, and granted, he didn't go as fast as he could into the end zone, but I don't know if that was that much of showboating to warrant an unsportsmanlike conduct. So, not sure what the discussion is about here between the officials, as you can see on your TV set. Personal foul on Hudson's Bay.
Oh, it's a personal foul on Hudson's Bay.
The two-point conversion stands. All right, so we'll take a look at this play here. Rough. This is the touchdown by Javon Hampton to give Evergreen the lead 22-20, and then they convert on the two-point conversion to make the score 24-21.
Yeah, I don't think the kid did enough to warrant a unsportsmanlike. That Nettles kid, I don't think he did at all.
Yeah, Nettles
He just took it and walked into the end zone.
The question is then, where did that call come from?
Yeah, I have no idea where that call came from.
I was thinking maybe a roughing the passer, a late hit or something, but Mondo was standing at the end of the play, and I didn't see anything that could have been. So, Evergreen kicks off here from Hudson's Bay's 45-yard line. So they're kicking off on the other side of the field. And this will probably be, it will definitely be a touchback through the uprights. There. A nice kick by Killian Burris. However, it will not extend the Evergreen lead. It will give the Eagles the ball at either the 20 or the 25-yard line. I believe it still is the 20-yard line in high school. The NFL has gone to 25. No, it is the 25-yard line. 20-yard line. Okay. Ref confused me. You caught it there at the umpire Josh Williams.
Yeah, it goes out to the 20.
All right. So the NFL 25. High school still at 20. And here come the Eagles. 3:52 left to play, down by 3. We'll come out in the I form. Evergreen looks like they're going to be blitzing. And Cottis goes up the middle. Cottis goes to the outside. Cottis taken down at the 50, at the 47-yard line. And Evergreen gives up a 33-yard run on the first play. Not how you want to start a drive for the Plainsmen.
No.
Marco Cottis will have a replay here. And this is just a simple power to the outside.
Yeah.
It breaks a tackle there at the first down marker before finally being brought down. And they're going to line up in I form again. Let's see if Evergreen's ready for him this time. First and 10 from the 47. And there goes Cottis again. Cottis breaks 2 tackles on that run. 3 yards there. So he'll get out to the 43 from the 47. Second and 7 here. 2:50 on the clock. Bill, this is a great game.
It is a great game. But Bay's got to hurry up there, because there's 2:44 now, and that takes time when the quarterback comes running over to the coach.
That's absolutely correct. Both teams with 3 timeouts left. I do think that Bay is going to start calling them soon as they come out in I form again. And they'll go another handoff to Cottis. Cottis bounces outside, cuts it back up the middle. 8 yards and a first down for the Hudson's Bay Eagles, and they are moving the ball well on the ground. It's so amazing to see teams that strictly run the ball almost every play, pound it for so many yards. We're going to replay here.
Yeah, they, I don't know, Evergreen, they're staying in their base front there. They might be a little bit wary about the pass, and so they're giving them some cushion. But
there's the pass, and it is caught by the fullback, Toa Kamatue. That'll be 10 yards. That'll be a Hudson's Bay first down. He gets out of bounds, stops the clock, 1:56.
Yeah, stops the clock. That's the big thing.
The question is Hudson's Bay in field goal range? As we see,
they're going to be close.
The sprint out here, lots of pressure, but not a lot of coverage downfield.
Yeah. They get somebody outside. That number 2 might be able to run.
And it will be Evergreen who takes the timeout here.
Evergreen took the timeout.
So, what a game. 1:56. Evergreen 24, Hudson's Bay 21. Hudson's Bay, 3 touchdowns by Marco Cottis, 2 rushing and a kick return. Evergreen, a Keelan Burris 25-yard field goal, 2 Dustin Nettles touchdown rushes, and a Javion Hampton touchdown rush. to have the score where it stands now, but the Eagles have moved the ball. Started back on the 20-yard line, gone all the way up to the 27 of Evergreen as we take a look at some ravenous Eagles fans here. So under 2 minutes left to go, and this is where that rushing style offense can kind of hurt you. It takes a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, I don't know what this. They got to get the first down. You know, that's for sure.
2nd and 1 in the I formation.
And here they come. They're stunting again.
But Cottage finds a hole. Cottage finds 10 yards.
Yeah, and see if they would delay that play just a little bit. That Evergreen kid ran right by it, the stunt guy.
Yeah.
But then you're taking a gamble, you know.
So, but now here we are, 1st and 10, the 17-yard line, 16 and a half, I would say.
Yeah, 16 and a half.
This might be field goal range. Hudson's Bay kicker had a little bit of a leg. Granted, no field goal is ever guaranteed in high school.
No.
There's the fullback dive to Toa. Toa fights forward for 3 yards. Hudson's Bay putting on quite an impressive drive here.
Yeah.
The clock ticks under 1:30. Hudson's Bay all 3 timeouts. Evergreen has 2. They take it right down there. 14-yard line, 13-yard line, right on the edge of the soccer box out here at Kiggins Bowl. And folks, you're watching a great game. If you just turned in to catch the program after, this is a fantastic game between the Evergreen Plainsmen and the Hudson's Bay Eagles. And the handoff goes to Kaditz. Kaditz fights forward. He's pulled back by his jersey. He's still going to get 4 yards. So, inside the 10-yard line, the clock down to 45 seconds. No timeouts being called by either team.
They better hurry up.
3rd and 2. Hudson's Bay has all 3 timeouts.
Tell the coach.
30 seconds here. 3rd and 2 for the Hudson's Bay Eagles. The clock under 30 seconds now. Kaditz goes up the middle for 2 yards. 20 seconds left. Does Evergreen call a timeout? Does Hudson's Bay call a timeout? Clock is stopped at 18 seconds. It is going to be Hudson's Bay timeout. We'll take a replay there. We'll see that Evergreen gets pressure off the edge and the middle. What did you see here, Bill?
Oh, just right up the middle, and kind of like a scrum.
That's number 51, Connor Ball there, getting off the block shedding to make the tackle. So here we go. 4th and 2. This is going to be a 17-yard field goal if they do attempt a field goal. Now the question is, do you have faith in your kicker or do you have faith in your offense? And Connor Hickman's going to yield for number 13, Dominic Freeman. Not sure what unit we're seeing. No, Hickman back out there. I don't believe we're going to see the field goal unit.
No field goal. He isn't going for a field goal.
This is a very risky situation. All right, the game comes down to this, folks. Connor Hickman in the shotgun. 4th and 2. Motion across. They hike it. There's nothing there. Hickman's going to run it. Hickman picks up the first down.
Call timeout. Call timeout.
There's 10 seconds left. The clock will be stopped to measure. Hickman is spotted at the 5-yard line. The chains are at the 6. We're going to get a replay. We'll see how close it is. So a design pass. And they're going to say it's an Eagles first down. The Eagles fans going crazy as though they just won the game. However, they still need points. 2 timeouts, 10 seconds. If you don't kick the field goal on the 7, why are you going to kick it on the 4, right?
Oh, they might kick it now. It was 4th down. He was going for it. They could actually throw a pass right away into the end zone and then still have another play to kick a field goal. But the pass has to be right there. It has to be quick.
So this has got to be, we got 10 seconds. The average play in high school football takes about 7 to 8. So if they throw an incomplete pass here, you have 2 to 3 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, then they
to
have
try
to make
that
a
field
decision.
goal.
Or either two running play, two plays, offensively, either a pass and a field goal or 2 passes, or I'd be surprised if they ran the football, but you never know.
They do have they have 1 timeout left.
They have
excuse me.
one timeout left. Okay.
So Mark Olivero, who is not afraid of anything, it seems.
No, he's not afraid.
1st and goal from the 5.5-yard line, we'll say. Barely enough for the first down. 10 seconds left on the clock. The Hudson's Bay Eagles driving here, started this drive with 3 minutes back on their 20-yard line. And here we go. The 8 in the box for the Evergreen Plainsmen, and it is going to be a fade pass. It is going to be incomplete. That took 5 seconds off the clock. All right, 2nd and 10. Man, I'm nervous for these players. We have 5 seconds here. Connor Hickman, we're going to go to the replay. They tried to throw the fade there to the tight end. Number 2, Leland Clark on the coverage. If that ball's in the back corner of the end zone like they tell you, tell all quarterbacks, if you're going to throw the fade, either your receiver catches it in the back corner of the end zone or no one catches it. All right, so Hudson's Bay, 5 seconds left. They believe that they can score a touchdown to win this game.
Yeah, now they better get rid of it quick.
You got to at least leave yourself time to try it. Why? I'm so flabbergasted by Olivero's decision not to go for the field goal. But here come the Eagles. It's caught! It's caught in the end zone! Touchdown! 1 second left on the clock. Number 7, Paulina Gasper and the Hudson's Bay Eagles take the lead, 27-24. The Evergreen's Plainsmen look absolutely shell-shocked right now. And Mark Olivero rolls the dice.
He rolled the dice.
Once on 4th down.
Yeah.
Once with 10 seconds left.
And Evergreen,
with 5
Evergreen played a great game here. You never know. You give it to number 9, he might take it back all the way.
You never know. And Hudson's Bay has been kicking Hudson's Bay has been kicking the ball out of bounds. Every kickoff. Here we go. We got the PAT coming up. 1 second left. Folks, this has been an outstanding game. To kick off 3A league play. And the extra point is good. A field goal does not win it. Granted, there's not enough time for a field goal. 28-24, Hudson's Bay Eagles coming back up from 2A, have the lead over Evergreen, a team that came down from 4A into 3A. As we show you on the sidelines, number 7, Paulina Gasper, the junior wide receiver. We got a replay on the touchdown. Jordan Hickman gets the ball out on a quick slant. Gasper, hit by 2 people, holds onto it.
That was a great throw, great catch.
Absolutely.
And what did we say? Football games are won in about 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 special plays.
Said that at the beginning of the broadcast.
Yeah. Only about, they'll go back. Evergreen will go back if they don't take this back for a touchdown. Think about 2 or 3 plays, especially a couple plays at the end of the half. The one where the Hudson's Bay kid went in, and it should have been tackled. That happens. Evergreen played their hearts out. Hudson's Bay played their hearts out.
Absolutely. So true there. So Paulina Gasper with the touchdown to go along with the 3 Marco Cades rushing touchdowns and the 2 Marco Cades rushing touchdowns and the kick return touchdown. That gives us 28-24, 1 second left.
Yeah, 1 second left.
This is either going to be the last play of the game or it will go out of bounds.
If it goes out of bounds, the clock won't start.
Yeah.
Then they'll have one running play or one offensive play. But I would find where number 9 is for sure and probably kick it away from number 9.
Number 9 right here, closest to us. You guys can't see him on the broadcast. It's right down here at the 35-yard line. The chant is Eagle Power coming from the Hudson's Bay student section.
Yeah. And then they might lateral it to number 9. I would kick it to the first guy, the up guy there.
Well, let's think of all the kick return miracles we've seen. The miracle at the Meadowlands.
Exactly. Or kick it. If they kick it in the end zone here.
And a flag. But anyways, recapping, we saw Skyby recover an onside kick earlier. Granted, this is not an onside kick situation, but all sorts of crazy games won. We had the miracle on the Meadowlands, 1 on a kick return.
Now what are they going to do?
The band is on the field, 1 on a kick return. And they're going to move the Eagles back 5 yards. make it a little bit easier, shorter distance.
Yeah.
There's no one deep for Evergreen right now. Oh, there we go. Okay. So deep they have Trey Ratcliffe. And number 23, which is Dalvin Johnson.
I would kick it into the end zone the way they're up there. They don't have no one deep.
I don't know if they have the leg for that. It looks like it's going to be an onside. It is an onside. It's recovered. All right, here we go. And they do lateral it back to number 9. Number 9 throws it all the way across the field. Here we go. He's got some blockers.
He's got some blockers.
He's got some blockers. Oh, but he slips. And the Hudson's Bay Eagles win their first game back in the 3A division. Their record now improves to 2-1, 1-0 in league. And the Evergreen Flamemen fall to 0-3, 0-1 in the 3A GSHL. Bill, what an outstanding game.
Yeah, Evergreen had a great idea. That was a great idea to throw that kind of flea flicker or whatever, that special play. And if he wouldn't have slipped, it might have been, you never know. Because he kind of had the edge. But you had a couple guys I just don't know what kind of speed he has.
Yep.
But it was a nice play. Terry did that was a nice play.
Great game played between both teams. And I'm Leonard Berry for my partner Bill Thompson. Eagles 28, Evergreen 24. We'll send it back to Nick Vole in the studio. Thank you for tuning in here on the broadcast, and have a great night.
Holy cow. Did you see that? 1 second left. What a play. We've got highlights coming up for you. What a great game. Great job by our crew on the field. Those were our first 2 football games of the year tonight. Skyview losing a squeaker earlier to O'Day. Hudson's Bay showing that they're ready for 3A with that big win. We have the highlights. I'm told we're going to take them as soon as they're ready. I just can't say enough about the guts this Hudson's Bay team showed tonight. What a crew. Coach Mark Oliverio leading this team, showing them what winning looks like. This is from the first half. This is Marco Cadiz, Crazy Legs Cadiz, all the way up the sidelines. Look at those white shoes. You can't even see his feet anymore. Breaks the tackle, rolls in. That's an 85-yard return. That's how Hudson's Bay announces it's ready to go. Here's an interception. Carter Morse is going to pick this pass off in the right place at the right time, reads the quarterback's eyes on the overthrow, takes that pass down, and then it's Marco Crazy Legs Cadiz time. Watch this run. Busts off the left tackle, around the end, into the end zone. Loves the crowd, begging for the applause, getting it. Here's Evergreen making it a game. Nettles. This is Dustin Nettles around the corner. This was such a back and forth game. Both teams showed a lot of heart. Hudson's Bay, of course, squeaking it out. What a tough run. Look at this. Hey, just try to bring him down. Man, he brought himself down there. What a great, great run. And here it is up the middle. This is Cadiz. Another tough run. Cadiz gets the handle. Oh, you think you've tackled him? You haven't. Marco, Crazy Legs. Look at that. Begging the crowd. Getting the love. Oh, looks like we lost the highlights there, but here's the post game action from the crowd. What a great game. We didn't, if the truck can try to get it, our director will try to get the truck. We want that game-winning touchdown again if they can get it for us. If not, you can watch this again on YouTube. It will also be available on Facebook for you in replay, so make sure you watch that. Wow, what a great first couple of games of the year. We are on Twitter tonight. We're following what you guys are doing. Let's go ahead and take a look at our social media posts. We've got some cool stuff. A big upset tonight in the Greater St. Helens League. Woodland knocks off previously undefeated and state-ranked Hawkinson 35-24. That's after the game. We've got another great photo from that, courtesy of WHS Beaver Football. I think we're going to show that here in just a sec, perhaps. Our computer's playing games with us. But either way, congratulations to Woodland. They knock off Hawkinson, take the win. We'd also like to take a moment here while we're at it to thank our underwriter, the Foundation for Vancouver Public Schools. This is the 4th year of our partnership with them. They provide us with underwriting to help bring local sports to you, and we're very grateful for their support. The foundation helps kids in a variety of ways, and you can learn more about their mission at foundationforvps.org. You can see most of that web address on your screen. It's cut off a little bit there, but you get the idea. Go ahead and check them out. They're just a really outstanding organization. We do have some games coming up for you from VPS Game Time. In 2 weeks, let's go ahead and take a look at that schedule here. On September 27th, we're going to have a big girls soccer doubleheader. First at 5 p.m., Hudson's Bay is going to host Washougal. And then at 7, Columbia River is going to take on Woodland. Make sure you tune in for that. Should be a fun doubleheader of girls soccer. And then on Friday, the same week, more football. It's the crosstown rivalry we're all looking forward to. Skyview and Columbia River. That game kicks off at 7. It can be seen in HD on Comcast Channel 328. Before I sign off, Ian, my director, are we going to have that, do you think? We're not going to have that. Okay. It will be available online on YouTube and on the Facebook channel. So for everyone down at Kiggins and everyone here in the TV studio at the Jim Parsley Center, our skeleton crew, Ian, Tony, and Madison, thank you for watching. I am Nick Vole. We'll see you next time on VPS Game Time.